Old Chor, do you want a wife? A beautiful girl is outside looking for you. Liu Ruyan just broke up with me. Who would be looking for me at this time? Filled with doubt, I got up and walked out. Ching Lang, I finally found you! I saw a girl with a protruding belly. When she saw me, the coolness on her face instantly broke into a smile. I was stunned and quickly called out, "Don't get excited, student. Slow down, slow down." I didn't remember knowing this girl with a big belly. The classmates in the class also gathered at the door, gossiping and looking at this sensational news. Someone recognized the girl. Isn't that Sushi Han, the most beautiful campus belle from the neighboring Zhonghai University? How is she pregnant and with such a big belly? Ching Lang, I finally found you. This is great. This way the baby will have a father when born. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire place was shocked. Old Chin is ruthless. The baby in Sushi Han's belly is really his. Envy, jealousy, and admiration filled the air. He was just broken up with by Liu Ruyan, and immediately after, an even more beautiful and scholarly campus belle came to bear his child. I was filled with jealousy. With a confused look, I immediately said, "Student, you can't joke like this. I have no interest in being a sudden father. You better look for someone else. I don't know Sushi Han, nor have I ever had any interaction with her. To this day, I am still a youth as pure as crystal. Although Sushi Han is truly much prettier than Liu Ruyan, with extremely beautiful features. But I am a man of principle. I absolutely refuse to be a sudden father." The students were stunned. Old Qin is indeed Old Qin. How dare he refuse to be the sudden father to the campus belle next door? If it were me, I'd even change my surname to hers for such a stunning beauty. The beautiful girl took out a photo and handed it to me. "Ching Lang, this is a picture of us together." I looked at the photo. The picture only showed Sushi Han's face, but the me sleeping next to her was clearly visible. My mind suddenly exploded with a roar. I finally remembered. There was one time at a social gathering between the two schools where I got drunk, and the next day I woke up in a hotel room. At the time, when I woke up and saw only myself in the room, I didn't think much of it, assuming my roommates had sent me there because I drank too much that day. Ding! Triggered mission. Host encounters the mother of his child, Sushi Han. The 3 babies Sushi Han is carrying are the hosts. Congratulations to the host for triggering the daddy system. Reward: startup fund of 20,000 yuan. Oh my god, it's triplets! I immediately changed my previous attitude of rejection. I looked at Sushi Han gently and softly said, "These are indeed my children. I'm a father. Well, the reason I came to see you is actually because I'm out of money, and I'm about to give birth soon. I need to prepare a lot of things for the babies." So Sushi Han looked at me awkwardly, her voice very quiet. So quiet that the students at the door couldn't hear. She actually wanted to talk to me about borrowing money. All the friends around her who could lend her money had already done so. She didn't dare tell her family about this. When she was first pregnant, she did some handicrafts to earn a little money. But later, as the pregnancy progressed, she couldn't do handicrafts and lost her source of income. It was impossible for her to stay in the dorm in her condition, so she rented a place outside, and the expenses were huge. Various checkups all cost money. She was truly at her wit's end and had to ask someone to find me. When she finally faced me, the last sentence about borrowing money was stuck in her throat. She just couldn't say it. I immediately grabbed Sushi Han's wrist, and with a masculine tone, I said, "I have money. We'll go buy whatever you need. Just give birth to the children, and I'll raise them." Seeing Sushi Han's eyelashes tremble and her face look like she was about to cry, I felt very distressed. Although I had never been a dad and never thought about my life as a father, seeing Sushi Han's current appearance, I knew her life must be very inconvenient. With that, I took her arm and said, "Let's find a place to rest first. Let's sit down and talk. Don't keep standing." "En?" Sushi Han nodded, tears flickering in her eyes, but she held them all back. I helped Sushi Han walk away, leaving the classmates in a state of surprise. "Oh my god! Old Chin really is the father of the campus belle's child. Brother Lang is truly formidable. It looks like Liu Ruyan knew she couldn't hold on to this relationship. That's why she publicly broke up with Brother Lang. Liu Ruyan is so pitiful." Liu Ruyan, who had stayed in the classroom and only heard the students' voices, felt incredibly stifled, depressed, and heartbroken at this moment. The area of psychological trauma in her heart was a good 10,000 square meters. She was supposed to be the one who dumped me, but now it turned out that I had dumped her. On the other side, I accompanied Sushi Han to a quiet restaurant outside the campus. Since it was close to mealtime, I chose a small private room. I helped Sushi Han sit down, and then ordered food first. Since I had money, I directly ordered all the dishes I usually wanted to eat: chicken, duck, fish, meat, and seafood. These are also very nutritious, and I thought they would be good for Sushi Han's health. After ordering, I handed the menu to Sushi Han. "You should order. I've ordered too much. We can't eat all this." "Then I don't need to order. Let's just have these." Seeing Sushi Han not order, I took the pen and menu and said, "I'll order you some braised pig trotters. I heard it's very nourishing for women." "Oh, I can't eat pig trotters. It's high in fat. If I eat it now, it could easily cause problems later." I was momentarily stunned. There are so many rules. She can't even eat pig trotters? Okay, I won't order pig trotters then. "Among the dishes I ordered, is there anything else you can't eat? We can change them. I can't eat too much at once. I need to eat small meals frequently. I can eat the dishes you ordered, no need to add more." After the waiter left, I took a sip of water and looked at the beautiful Sushi Han sitting across from me. "When are you due? What are your plans after the baby is born?" "The due date is in half a month. After the baby is born, I plan to raise it myself." "Raise it yourself? You're carrying triplets. Can you manage to raise 3 babies by yourself?" Although I hadn't prepared myself to be a dad, hearing Sushi Han, the mother of my children, preparing to raise 3 children alone still made me feel uneasy. No matter what, these 3 babies are my flesh and blood. I can't just stand by and do nothing. Moreover, I have now activated the daddy system, so raising the babies will be no problem. Sushi Han was first shocked that I knew she was carrying triplets, and then she was shocked by the tone of my voice, which sounded unhappy that she was raising the babies alone, as if I was afraid she couldn't take good care of them. She blinked her trembling eyelashes. "I've hired a nanny, and I'm still young. I can take good care of the babies." What I mean is, as the father of the children, I also want to be involved in the process of raising them. Sushi Han straightened her large, bright eyes and stared blankly at me, as if she had never imagined I would say such a thing. I looked at her naive and adorable expression and pinched her little cheek. "Are you surprised? Or were you planning to find a new father for my 3 children in the future?" "I never thought that. I just didn't expect you to help me raise the children. After all, you are only in your sophomore year. Aren't you also a sophomore?" "I will definitely be involved in the growth of the babies. This is also my responsibility as a father." I poured a cup of warm water and placed it in front of Sushi Han with a commanding air. Come, drink some water first." Sushi Han's long, curled eyelashes trembled. She was so affected by my imposing manner that she obediently picked up the water cup with both hands and drank. Seeing her meekly drinking the water, I felt that perhaps this kind of life would be quite good in the future. I wonder who the 3 babies will look like after they are born. As a father, I am handsome and charming, and the mother of the children, Sushi Han, is a rare campus belle and goddess. Their appearance shouldn't be bad, and the babies, intelligence. Thinking of this, I looked at Sushi Han. I heard that a baby's intelligence follows the mother. The 3 babies are definitely little smart geniuses and future straight-A students. Next, the waiter brought the food. While eating, I asked Sushi Han where she was living now. Sushi Han ate delicately like a cat. After chewing the food in her mouth, she put down her chopsticks. "I'm renting a place in the Jufang residential area near our university. After we finish eating, let's go back to your place first. You rest, and when you're well rested, we'll go shopping." Tea, and minutes later, Sushi Han put down her chopsticks. "I'm full." I glanced at Sushi Han's clean plate and the many dishes on the table that we hadn't eaten much of. I put a large chicken leg in her bowl. "Eat some more." Sushi Han was about to say something, but my look was even more intimidating. Sushi Han immediately obediently lowered her head and gnawed on the chicken leg. Soon, I was full. Having money is truly different. Since leaving home for college, I hadn't eaten a meal this delicious. It felt great. I called the waiter to prepare the bill. Unexpectedly, Sushi Han spoke first. "Waiter, please pack these dishes for us." Because I ordered a lot of food, a full 12 dishes, and many of them were unfinished, some not even touched much, Sushi Han couldn't bear to waste them. Of course, before she was pregnant, even if all 12 dishes were left over, she wouldn't have said a word about packing them up. But after becoming pregnant and realizing how money flows like water, and knowing the importance of money when the 3 babies are born, she started to save money. I didn't feel that Su Shihan's request made me lose face as a man. I immediately told the waiter, "Bring a few more takeout boxes." "Okay." The waiter politely went to get the takeout boxes. As waiters, they also hope to see guests respect food, so their restaurant especially supports packing leftovers. Sushi Han held her lower back with one hand and her big belly with the other, preparing to get up. Seeing this, I quickly walked over to support her. I also reminded myself that next time, I should proactively support the mother of my children when she gets up. After helping Sushi Han up, she suddenly cried out in sharp pain. "It hurts, Ching Lang. My stomach hurts. I think I'm about to give birth." "Didn't you say the due date was in half a month?" "I seem to have heard that some babies are born early." Ding! Congratulations to the host. You will soon meet the babies. The system rewards the host with a delivery companion guide and a maternity care package. It will be delivered to the hospital where the babies are born via express delivery shortly. I immediately called an ambulance. While waiting for the ambulance, I kept carefully comforting Sushi Han. "Shihan, don't be afraid. I'm here." The ambulance arrived in 8 minutes. I accompanied Sushi Han all the way to the hospital. Upon entering the lobby, a nurse said, "We'll take her to the ward first. The family can go pay the fees." "I'll do it." Sushi Han was just about to say she should call her mom to borrow money for the delivery, but I spoke first. "Shihan, wait for me in the ward. I'll go pay the fees first. I already ordered the maternity care package on the way. We'll take it up together later. With me here, you just need to rest assured and prepare for delivery." "You bought the maternity care package? And you're gonna pay the fees?" "Relax, wait for me in the ward. I'll be up soon." I smiled, the determination in my eyes making her believe me deeply. But then, the unexpected happened. "Ching Lang, if there are any risks during the delivery process later, you must tell the doctor to save the babies first." I was amused by her. "Student Sushi Han, what era are you still stuck in? And it's normal for multiples to be born prematurely. But the due date is still half a month away. Ching Lang, I'm scared. Ding! The system has detected that the mother's mood is unstable. The host can unlock missions to increase the babies and mother's smooth delivery value." While I was comforting Sushi Han, I was also anxious inside. Triplets are no joke, and a premature birth carries a lot of risks. Only if I could be 100% sure of a smooth delivery could I be completely at ease. Unlock. Unlock. Unlock it now. Next, I followed the system's missions step by step to increase the value. Congratulations to the host for completing the hand-holding interaction with the mother. Smooth delivery value, 50%. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission of giving the mother water. Smooth delivery value, 100%. The missions are quite simple. The 2 young nurses at the door looked on with envy. "This young couple has such a good relationship." The expectant father is really great, accompanying the expectant mother and cheering her up to put her at ease. The expectant mother is so lucky. Sushi Han's emotions finally stabilized. Although the contractions were getting more intense, she wasn't as scared as before. She looked at me and felt a sense of security. Her eye suddenly spotted a large bag that looked like a maternity care package. "Ching Lang, is that the maternity care package you prepared?" I picked up the maternity care package and showed it to Sushi Han, item by item. "I prepared everything very thoroughly, don't worry." He actually prepared so much in such a short time, more comprehensive than what she had planned at home herself. Sushi Han's eyes warmed, and she felt a surge of emotion. She was feeling too fragile today. Sushi Han didn't want to leave an impression of a crybaby in front of me. She quickly sniffed. "Thank you. You're very thoughtful." Sushi Han couldn't finish looking through the large maternity care package before the doctor wheeled her into the delivery room. I stood guard outside the operating room door for over an hour. Even though the system had guaranteed a 100% successful delivery, I was still nervous. An hour and a half later, the operating room door opened, and 3 nurses walked out simultaneously, each holding a baby in her arms. "Who is Sushi Han's family member?" I'm the baby's father." My voice was a little shaky, but no one laughed at me. Everyone, including the nurses in front of me, only had blessings in their eyes. "Mother and children are safe. Congratulations, sir, on your 3 babies. The boy is the older brother, and you have a beautiful pair of twin sisters." "Oh my god, it's triplets." A pair of twin daughters is already enviable, but to have an older brother too? To have both a son and 2 daughters at once is too incredible. I smiled and looked back at everyone. Thank you. At this moment, I felt like the sounds around me were muffled. It was as if only the 3 little babies in the nurse's arms existed in my world. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the first meeting with the babies. Reward, beginner daddy skill. The system is fantastic. I had just felt lost, and the system immediately thoughtfully presented the beginner daddy skill. After successfully activating the skill, I instantly felt different. Looking at the 3 soft and adorable little ones in front of me, the standard posture for holding a baby immediately appeared in my mind. As soon as the 3 little ones were in my arms, they immediately stopped crying. After about a few minutes, Sushi-han was wheeled out. Having just given birth, she looked a little weak. As soon as she was out, she started looking around. Although she knew the babies came out first and I should have gone to look after them, she couldn't help but hope to see a familiar face the moment she left the operating room. Just as Sushi-han was feeling a little disappointed and about to withdraw her gaze, a familiar figure suddenly walked over in a commanding way. "Shihan, you worked hard." Sushi-han's expression was like the first ray of dawn, instantly breaking through the clouds, and a brilliant smile immediately appeared. She gently shook her head. "Are the babies okay?" "The babies are great." The doctor said they are very healthy. 1 older brother and 2 little sisters. They are already in the ward. We can see them in a moment. Back in the ward, the babies' cribs were right next to us. But I settled Sushi-han first before pushing the babies over. "Shihan, these 2 are the sisters. They look exactly alike, super cute. The brother is also very cute. Look, the babies are enjoying themselves and are all asleep." Sushi-han already knew about the baby's condition in the delivery room, but hearing me tell her at this moment gave her a different, very warm and beautiful feeling. Sushi-han looked very carefully, her eyes as gentle as a pool of water. She hadn't expected me to be so serious and to adapt to the role of a first-time dad in such a short period of time. Her decision to find me today was perhaps the best decision for the children. Sushi-han lowered her head, looking at the 3 little treasures, and smiled warmly. Sushi-han was weak after giving birth and fell asleep shortly after. The 3 little treasures were also sleeping soundly. I picked up my phone and went to the door to call my roommate. "Hey, old Yang, are any of you in the dorm? Can you do me a favor? I left suddenly today." Although everything for Sushi-han and the babies was prepared, I didn't bring anything for myself. I couldn't leave to buy things now. "Brother Lang, where did you go to have fun with the beautiful campus belle next door?" Old Yang laughed slyly. I couldn't suppress my excitement and joy, and said, "I have good news for you guys. I'm a dad. I'm at the hospital taking care of the mother and babies and can't leave. Can you help me bring some toiletries? I'll text you the list later." There was silence on the other end for a full half a minute, and then the 3 roommates let out ape-like howls. I quickly hung up the phone and sent a message to old Yang. It takes about 40 minutes by bus from the school, but the 3 of them immediately took a taxi and arrived in 20 minutes. On the way, the roommates were incredibly excited. "Unbelievable! Our brother Lang is too awesome! He actually won over the campus belle of Shanghai University and became a dad." "Wait, didn't you guys notice?" Brother Lang said. "Children, do you think Brother Lang made a slip of the tongue? Or does he have more than 1 baby?" Zhou Qi's words shocked both Yang Ben and Sun Shu. They'd anticipated that I might have more than 1 baby, considering Campus Belle Sue's belly today. But upon arriving at the hospital and seeing the 3 little ones, the 3 roommates were still utterly astonished. I looked at the 3 sleeping babies and Sushi-han, and immediately shooed them out. In the hospital corridor, Yang Bin looked at me excitedly. "Awesome! Brother Lang, you are too awesome! Triplets in one go! Our Brother Lang is forever a god." "Brother Lang, is it a big nephew or a big niece?" Sun Shu asked with sparkling eyes. I smiled and said, "The oldest is a nephew, and the 2 who look alike are nieces. 1 son and 2 daughters. Brother Lang, you have both a son and daughters at once, plus twin daughters. That's too enviable." Yang Bin patted his shoulder and laughed. "Don't be envious. Little son hasn't got the ability." Sun Shu felt a bit sour, but looking at my devastatingly handsome face, he resignedly shook his head and said, "Can't compare, can't compare. Brother Lang is great." Brother Lang, you were really dishonest this time. You didn't even tell us about such a huge thing. When did things happen between you and Campus Belle Sue? How did you suddenly become a dad? I knew what my roommates were thinking and said straightforwardly, "It's a long story, but the children are definitely mine." Our brother Lang is indeed capable, quietly achieving great things. Not only did he get the Zhonghai campus spell, but he completed the process of having babies right in his sophomore year. However, brother Lang, triplets are great, but the expenses are huge. 3 little money eaters are not easy. You suddenly have 3 little burdens. Do you still have money? The 3 of us pooled our money on the way. We still have some. Why don't you take it for now? I smiled and shook my head. Don't worry. Your brother Lang is a dad now. I can handle this much. I have the money to support my wife and children. Hearing me say that, the 3 roommates also believed me. It seems our brother Lang has been hiding his strength. Haha! Since you don't need the money, you must accept the red envelopes. This is a meeting gift from the 3 of us to our big nephew and big nieces. Okay, I'll accept them. When the children have their celebration, you all come and eat. After chatting for a while, I quickly sent them off. Although Sushi Han was still asleep, I didn't know when she would wake up, and I didn't want to stay outside for too long. I saw the roommates off to the elevator and came back. The moment I entered the door, I heard a phone ringing. I quickly hurried in, but it was too late to silence the ring. Sushi Han woke up. She groggily opened her eyes and subconsciously asked, "Whose phone is it?" I looked at the caller ID Ling Xiao. Should I answer it? Sushi Han nodded. I answered the phone and turned on the speakerphone. After the call connected, an anxious female voice came from the other end. "Shihan, where have you been? Auntie said you've been out all day. Why aren't you back at this hour? Where are you now? I'll come pick you up." "Xiao Xiao, I'm at the hospital. I've already given birth," Sushihan whispered. She looked at the 3 little ones on the side as she spoke. "What? Given birth? Wasn't your due date still half a month away? Are you alone right now?" Ling Xiao shouted excitedly. Sushihan looked up at me a little sheepishly. I immediately understood. "I'm going out for a few minutes. If you need anything, call me. I'll be right outside." I figured the person on the phone was Sushihan's best friend, and their conversation was private. "What's going on? Why is there a man's voice?" Ling Xiao's voice suddenly carried a bit of worry. Sushihan gently replied, "It's nothing," and then patiently explained everything that happened today to Ling Xiao. The anxious Ling Xiao on the other end was already calling a taxi and heading out as she listened. By the time Sushihan finished speaking, Ling Xiao was almost at the hospital. "So, the person who accompanied you through the delivery today is the baby's father who hasn't shown up for over 8 months? Ling Xiao's tone was not very pleasant. Sushihan knew her friend was somewhat dissatisfied with me. Ling Xiao still felt that even though such a thing happened, I shouldn't have completely disappeared afterwards without any word. "Xiao Xiao, don't talk like that. If it weren't for Ching Lang today, I really don't know what I would have done. He only found out about the babies today. I'm really grateful to him. I'll be at the hospital in a few minutes. We'll talk when we meet." The unexpected happened. Sushihan's best friend, learning that she had given birth to my triplets, rushed to the hospital in a flurry. "Ching Lang, this is my best friend Ling Xiao." "Ling Xiao? This is Ching Lang." "I know. Is this the father of the 3 little treasures who hasn't been seen for over 8 months? Ling Xiao's words carried a slight edge. I didn't mind. Sushihan couldn't help but secretly wink at her best friend, afraid that I would be embarrassed. "Miss Ling, Shihan is still quite weak right now. Please sit next to her and talk." After I finished speaking, I walked over to the baby cribs. The 3 babies were probably woken up by the sound of the door opening. They pouted and immediately started crying. Ling Xiao turned her head and saw me easily pick up a baby and gently rock it in my arms. A man being this gentle is quite rare. Sushihan was initially worried, but seeing me notice the babies immediately, she relaxed. The 3rd baby woke up. "I'll take him for a walk in the corridor." I left the room to the 2 best friends. As soon as I left, Sushihan immediately said, "Xiao Xiao, don't be like that to Ching Lang. He has already done so much." Ling Xiao rolled her eyes at her and said irritably, "Silly girl. He just showed up a few hours ago and you've already softened. What about the past 8 months? You came all this way yourself, but he didn't even know about it. You can't blame him entirely, Sushi Han quickly explained on my behalf. Ling Xiao glanced at me in the corridor. I was holding the third baby, looking down and soothing him, which actually looked quite convincing. She didn't say anything more, asked about Sushi Han's health, and then found an excuse to step outside. All right, Shihan and I have known each other for 10 years. I'll be direct. I don't care where you were for the past 8 months, but now that you're here at the hospital, I want to ask you, what are your plans for the future living arrangements of the children and Shihan? I wasn't surprised that Ling Xiao would ask this. Of course, I will take care of my children, and the mother of my children. Hearing this, Ling Xiao's face remained cold, but she didn't say anything further. She took out a stack of cash from her bag and handed it to me. Take this money. Shihan has had a hard time by herself these past few months. This is my recent bonus. You two definitely need it right now. Miss Ling, I appreciate your kindness. Shihan mentioned that you often looked after her recently, but from now on, you don't need to worry about the financial or living situation. Ling Xiao didn't expect me to say this and was stunned for a moment. Take this. This is my red envelope for my godson and goddaughters. I'm leaving, but I'll be back later. I watched her retreating figure, then looked down at the cash in my arms and shook my head helplessly. I took the children and brought the money back to the room. Shihan, this is the red envelope Miss Ling gave the children. Su Shihan looked at the stack of cash on the table, her eyes shifting. This must be close to 5,000, probably from Ling Xiao's project bonus. She made a mental note of her friend's kindness. At the same time, I suddenly heard the system's voice in my mind. Ding! Detected that the host's baby's mother needs to eat. Activating host postpartum meal cooking skill. Sushi Han was hungry. I turned my head and saw Sushi Han looking down, her expression a little dazed. When she realized she had been caught, her face flushed with embarrassment. I couldn't help but smile. What's there to be embarrassed about when a girl is hungry? Shihan, it's about time for dinner. I'll go downstairs and get us something to eat. Sushi Han didn't expect me to be so attentive, realizing she was hungry the moment she felt it herself. She nodded gently. Thank you, Ching Lang. I lightly tapped her forehead. Why are you thanking me? You're not allowed to use that word anymore. I left, heading straight for the hospital kitchen. As soon as the chef heard I wanted to cook for the mother of my children myself, he immediately stepped aside without a word. Young people these days have such good relationships. Sushi Han's body could only handle liquid food right now, but even so, I had to make it exceptional. Half an hour later, I brought the tray upstairs. At the same time, Ling Xiao, who had gone out to buy things, also returned, carrying a large pile of bags filled with necessities for the baby and the mother. In her other hand, she carried a food container. Shihan, this is the postpartum meal I picked out for you after visiting several stores. It's nutritionally balanced, looks, smells, and tastes great. Hurry and try it. Ling Xiao opened the container, revealing various small dishes, meat, vegetables, soup, and porridge, a complete spread. However, Sushi Han looked at the oil slick floating on the pig trotter soup, and her stomach suddenly churned with discomfort. Ling Xiao's attention landed on the dinner I prepared. Ching Lang, Shihan is very weak right now. Her food needs to be extra nutritious. How can you just bring something from the cafeteria to send her off? I opened my own small vacuum flask and said, I made this myself using the hospital kitchen. Shihan, you can only have liquid food for now. I made you lotus root and oatmeal porridge to replenish your strength, and a clear broth black chicken soup. Since you can't eat regular food yet, you'll have to make do with these for the next 2 days. As soon as the lid of my flask was opened, the aroma instantly filled the ward. Even without Sushi Han saying anything, Ling Xiao knew that the postpartum meal she bought had been surpassed. Sushi Han looked up at me in surprise. You made these? I winked at her charmingly. Of course. Didn't I tell you? I will take good care of you and the babies. From now on, I won't delegate your postpartum meals to anyone else. Ling Yao watched her best friend's pale cheeks gradually turn rosy, then looked at my bright eyes and instantly felt like a giant light bulb in the room. She lowered her head and looked at the 2 postpartum meals. She took a small disposable spoon and tasted mine. When she tasted my black chicken soup, her eyes instantly lit up. It's delicious. Then she pouted. Shihan, you eat Ching Lang's portion. I'll eat mine. It's too oily anyway. Hearing this, Sushi Han couldn't help but look up at me. We exchanged a smile. Sushi Han ate the dinner I personally prepared, with an unconcealed sweetness in her eyes. Ling Xiao couldn't help but say, "A single meal makes you this happy? How hard was it for you to live alone for the past 8 months? You can't be so." "Xiao, I just think the soup is delicious, okay?" Sushi Han said with a smile. Ling Xiao's mouthful of words was abruptly blocked. She looked at Sushi Han's soup, savoring the taste she just had. The taste really is good. As Ling Xiao's spoon reached out again, Sushi Han immediately raised her hand to protect her territory. "No, Xiao, I'm a patient who just gave birth. How can you steal food from a patient?" Ling Xiao looked at how possessive she was and laughed exasperatedly. "Fine, I won't steal the delicious food your Ching Lang made for you. Are you satisfied?" Sushi Han lowered her head and took a sip of soup, her smile deepening. Ching Lang's cooking is really good. In the mother and baby room, I seriously mixed formula, occasionally turning back to look at the 3 little ones. Looking at the 3 little bundles, my heart was filled with indescribable sweetness. After the 3 little ones were full and content, I played with them in the room for a while. Today must have been very sudden for Sushi Han. Now that her best friend was here, I wanted to give them some private space, so Sushi Han could have a good chat with her. Ding! System detected that the baby enjoys interactive small toys. Activating host hand carving skill. Host can carve small handcrafted toys for the babies and receive a 50,000 yuan reward. Carving small toys for my babies and getting a reward? The system is too good. In the blink of an eye, I felt a subtle change in my hands, and my mind was filled with knowledge about jade carving, wood carving, and other related fields. I brought the 3 little ones back to the room. Sushi Han and Ling Xiao had finished eating. The dinner I made was completely emptied. I smiled inwardly. I'm going downstairs to pick up a package. The carving material kit had arrived. When I came back upstairs, I had a delicate, large wooden box in my hand. Sushi Han and Ling Xiao looked at me curiously. "Ching Lang, what is this?" "This is a carving material kit. I noticed our 3 little ones really like small toys, so I plan to carve a few handcrafted toys for them. Something I make myself is safe and reliable." "You're gonna carve small toys for the babies yourself?" Sushi Han was astonished. For the next hour, I sat on the small sofa, using various carving knives to work on the small piece of wood. Sushi Han kept glancing at me. I was very focused while carving, and my lowered head looked quite handsome. An hour later, 3 handcrafted small toys were freshly made. "Shihan, the babies are still asleep. You, as the mother, should examine these small toys for them first." Sushi Han took the small toys from my hand and carefully examined them. These handcrafted toys are so adorable. Even I love them, let alone the babies. "Ching Lang, you're amazing." I gave her a charming wink. "It's nothing. If you like it, I'll carve you a bigger and cuter one later." Ling Xiao, who was waiting nearby, took the 3 small toys and looked at them seriously. "This craftsmanship is too good. Ching Lang, your carving skill is almost master level." Sushi Han was a little surprised. She knew the 3 small toys I carved were good, but she wasn't familiar with the professional aspect. My old man usually enjoys this kind of carving. I learned a lot from following him. "Ching Lang, this level is simply a work of art." At 9:30 p.m., the hospital ward lights began to dim. I was here for the overnight stay, so Ling Xiao had to leave first. In the quiet ward, Sushi Han could almost hear my breathing. "Ching Lang, are you sure you don't need to go back to school tonight?" "It's fine. I already took leave from my advisor." Even if I didn't, I'd say I did. The mother of my children is more important. "Shihan, can't you sleep?" I gently placed my hand on her forehead. I checked her temperature. "Your temperature is normal. Are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere?" "No." Sushi Han shook her head, her eyes downcast. I saw her cheeks were flushed and suddenly realized, this girl is probably shy. The ward is only so big. Although the 3 little ones separated us, it was the first time we were in the same room like this, so it was normal for Sushi Han to be a little nervous. Ding! Congratulations to the host for taking the baby's mother's temperature for the first time. Reward: 1 Senior Postpartum Center VIP card. I was momentarily surprised. This is quite practical. On the 8th day at the hospital, I discussed it with Sushi Han, wanting to send her to a postpartum care center. She was worried about the cost and was about to refuse. I smiled. Your health is the most important thing. What is money compared to the mother of my children? Don't worry, I'll handle all the financial issues from now on. Sushi-han really couldn't talk me out of it, and eventually could only agree, feeling a sense of warmth in her heart. She hadn't expected me to care for her this much. Shortly after moving into the postpartum center, I suddenly received a call from my roommate. "Brother Lang, something's happened. You need to rush back to school right now." The matter of campus belle Sushi-han showing up with her big belly to look for me had been discovered by my advisor. "You brat, you disappeared for a few days and finally came back today. Give me a good reason. Confess and be lenient. Resist and be strict." Advisor, I truly had important matters to attend to these past few days, which is why I wasn't at school. The advisor looked at me, a hint of a smile in his eyes, and asked knowingly, "It's about a relationship, isn't it?" I smiled and said, "Advisor, you know so much. It is indeed about a relationship. The campus belle next door even showed up with her belly. The whole class is talking about it. How could I, as the class advisor, not know? Ching Lang, I haven't even asked you yet. What exactly is going on? Is the baby in the campus belle's belly really yours?" The advisor's eyes shone with the light of gossip. "Yes, the baby is indeed mine. I'm a father. The reason I haven't been to class these past few days is because I was at the hospital taking care of the mother and child." Hearing this, the advisor's jaw almost dropped. His eyes behind his gold-rimmed glasses widened as he looked at me in shock. "You're truly amazing. Ching Lang, you did the right thing. You're a man, and you must take good care of the child and the mother at a time like this. I'll write you a leave slip for last night's incident in a moment. You don't need to worry about it. School is not too busy right now, so take more time to spend with your child and the mother." "Oh, right. I need to congratulate you. Is it a boy or a girl?" the advisor asked happily. Hearing this question, a smile appeared on my face, a proud smile of a father. "Triplets. 1 boy and 2 girls." "Triplets?" The advisor was shocked and again gave me a thumbs up. All right, you're incredible. Triplets, congratulations, student. You young people are truly bold in your actions. However, there are quite a few college students getting married and having children these days. I'm not an old-fashioned person, so I definitely support you. How about this? I'll write you a leave slip. For the next month, spend more time with the child and the mother. Don't worry about school matters, but you can't neglect your studies, you understand? Understood. Thank you, advisor. I walked out of the academic affairs office with a legitimate leave slip in hand. Yang Bin, Sun Shu, and Zhou Qi were already waiting outside the building. When they saw me, the 3 immediately rushed over. Brother Lang, are you okay? Did the advisor help you with the leave slip this time? Brother Lang, I'm sorry I messed up last night. If my brain had reacted faster, I would have just said you were visiting other dorms. Zhou Qi was also anxious, pulling me and asking, Brother Lang, is the issue resolved? They're not really going to deduct your credits, are they? I looked at the 3 of them, stretched out my arms, and patted their shoulders, smiling. Relax. Is there anything your Brother Lang can't handle? The 3 immediately went from worried to cheerful. Brother Lang, so you sorted it out? I took out the leave slip, flicked it with my finger, and then tossed it into Yang Bin's hand. Here's your exemption pass. Keep it safe. From now on, roll calls, surprise dorm checks, none of it applies to us. Wow, Brother Lang. Not only did you get a leave slip, but you got one for a whole month. This is a real exemption pass. Brother Lang, how did you manage it? Teach me. I want to go traveling. I don't need a month, just a week. Su Xiu came over to ask for tips. I glanced at him, shook my head, and said, I'm afraid that won't work. Who told you not to have 3 adorable babies? Ha ha ha. I came back this time to pick up some things from the dorm. As soon as I arrived downstairs, a familiar figure appeared in my line of sight. My ex-girlfriend, Liu Ruyan. The moment Liu Ruyan saw me, she instantly straightened her back and walked towards me aggressively. Oh, isn't this long-time no-see student Ching Lang? You've been gone for over a week. Why are you showing up at our ordinary university today? I thought the campus belle next door had already taken you to Zhonghai University. I didn't bother to respond, but Liu Ruyan was relentless. About last night's surprise dorm check, someone who didn't return to the dorm overnight will probably have their credits deducted, right? Ching Lang, you're here to write a self-criticism, aren't you? You better write it well, because if you don't, it might be included in your student file, you know? Compared to Sushi-han, Liu Ruyan, this campus belle was really mediocre. Not only in looks, but her character was even more speechless. I had no idea how I was so blind to date her for a while. It's true that you only know a person's true colors after spending time with them. However, I also have to thank Liu Ruyan for breaking up with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met such a wonderful Sushi Han. Since she's an ex-girlfriend, there's no need for further interaction. Yang Bin and the other three were by my side, boosted by the morale I brought. We passed by the changing-faced campus belle with disdain. Liu Ruyan was displeased by this treatment and was about to step forward to argue further, but her roommate suddenly grabbed her. "Ruyan, don't go after him!" Liu Ruyan angrily shook off her roommate's hand and said indignantly, "Xiao Duo, why are you pulling me? Didn't you see how arrogant Ching Lang was?" Xiao Duo tugged at her sleeve and whispered, "Don't say any more, Ruyan. Ching Lang has already sorted out last night's issue." Liu Ruyan suddenly turned around, frowning. "How is that possible? I specifically asked my senior to help with last night's dorm check, and the director of academic affairs was there." Xiao Duo continued, "It's true, I just went to see the advisor and happened to see Ching Lang go in. I listened outside for a while. The matter with Ching Lang and the campus belle next door is real, and she even gave birth to triplets for him. He's not been at school recently because he was taking care of the mother and child. When the advisor heard that reason, he immediately wrote him a leave slip for last night, and even approved a month's leave for him to properly accompany his wife and children. How is this possible? Ching Lang and that campus belle are actually serious, and they even had triplets? Ching Lang is actually that powerful? I still had to rush back to the postpartum center to make lunch for Sushi Han, so I didn't stay too long at the school. I packed up some things, put on my backpack, and left. When I arrived at the postpartum center, Sushi Han was already awake, and the three little ones had just woken up. Sushi Han was a little flustered, trying to feed them all by herself. When I came back and saw this, I immediately put down my things, held the crying first baby, and gently soothed him. After the three little babies were full and asleep, Sushi Han finally asked, "Ching Lang, the nurse told me you went back to school. Did something happen?" "It's nothing. I just went back to submit a new leave slip. The old one expired, so I got a longer one this time. I don't have to go back for the next month." Sushi Han was surprised, her beautiful eyes clouded with a bit of confusion. "You asked for a month's leave? Did the school approve it?" Seeing her worry, I simply took out my phone and opened the academic affairs system. There was my leave information. Look, a full month, not a day less. Sushi Han looked down. It was indeed a month's leave. "Then how did you apply for the leave from the school?" I said seriously. I told them I'm accompanying the mother of my children during her postpartum confinement and taking care of 3 hungry little ones. Isn't that a reasonable and legitimate reason? Sushi Han was stunned and asked in surprise, You actually asked for leave like that? Ching Lang, you're too reckless." I found her reaction adorable and couldn't help but reach out and gently rub her rosy cheek. "Come on, what's there to be embarrassed about?" Just then, Sushi Han's phone rang. She looked at the caller ID, her best friend Ling Xiao, and casually picked it up. Ling Xiao's excited voice came through. "Shihan, I'm here. Send me your room number quickly. I'm coming upstairs to see my godson and goddaughters." Sushi Han gave Ling Xiao the room number. A short while later, Ling Xiao arrived. "Shihan, this postpartum center is great, and the room is so luxurious. I noticed the service attitude downstairs is really good too. It's much better for you to be here for your confinement than in that small rented apartment." Sushi Han smiled, looking up at me. "Ching Lang arranged all of this." I smiled and said, "You two chat. I'll go downstairs to select ingredients for lunch." After I left, Ling Xiao lowered her voice. "Doesn't this postpartum center provide meals? Why does Ching Lang have to go pick out ingredients himself?" Sushi Han said sweetly, "It's not that they don't have it, but Ching Lang's cooking is better. He insisted on making it for me himself." Ling Xiao felt like she had been force-fed a dose of public display of affection, but she was genuinely happy for Sushi Han. "My performance these past few days is truly impeccable." Ling Xiao chuckled. "No wonder I saw you earlier and thought you looked more radiant than when I last saw you. I thought you had some secret. But it turns out, you're just being nourished by love and eating sweet confinement meals every day. Poor me, a single dog." Sushi Han playfully glared at her. "Xiao Xiao, don't talk nonsense. It's not nonsense. If it's not the confinement meal, then could it be..." "Heh. Shihan, you and Ching Lang didn't." Best friends know each other's thoughts inside and out. Sushi Han knew exactly what Ling Xiao was trying to imply. She raised her hand and lightly tapped Ling Xiao. How is that possible? Ling Xiao nodded, clicking her tongue. You're right. Even if your Ching Lang was eager, he'd have to consider your current weak body. He's not eager. Sushi Han couldn't help but defend me. Ling Xiao raised an eyebrow, squinting and smiling mischievously. Why does that sound like you're disappointed? Shihan, could it be that you are the one who is impatient? Sushi Han was speechless. Xiao, did you wash your brain with water when you showered? What are you thinking all the time? Ling Xiao's arrival made the already lively room even livelier. At noon, Ling Xiao happily got to share Sushi Han's confinement meal, satisfyingly eating a full meal. After eating, I gave her the intricate walnut carving. She had commissioned it from me later. I had quoted her 200,000 yuan. Seeing the actual piece, Ling Xiao couldn't stop praising it. It's too beautiful. Ching Lang, your craftsmanship is absolutely incredible. Sushi Han also looked on with shining eyes. Shihan is right. The real thing is 100 times more stunning than the photo. My old man will definitely love this magnificent and powerful walnut carving. Thank you so much. Here's the final payment. I'll transfer it to Shihan. Ling Xiao was overjoyed. She stayed a little longer, but then had urgent business at work. So she reluctantly left. Wow, I didn't expect you to earn 200,000 yuan so quickly. That's a huge sum of money. Even with our 3 babies, we can spend it for a long time. What's this? It's just pocket money. Take it and spend it. Buy whatever you want. I'll take care of everything else. I was in the process of getting birth certificates for the babies when my mom suddenly called. I glanced at the screen and answered the phone. Before I could speak, the little nurse at the counter confirmed with me. The baby's father's name is Ching Lang, correct? I immediately said, yes, that's right. Ching Lang, as in the Lang, from Wave. Then I picked up my phone. Quote, Mom, why are you calling at this hour? My mom, who had heard my voice, immediately put aside her doubts. Can't I call now? Are you busy? Do you have class? No, I don't have class this morning. But you and Dad usually call me at night. Why call in the morning today? Your dad and I usually call at night because we're afraid you have class during the day, so we wait until you're back in the dorm. Today is an unexpected situation. I have good news for you. Hearing my mom's laugh, my heart softened. What good news is making our Mrs. Ding so happy? Your eldest aunt just called me. She said your cousin Shu is getting married at the end of this year. The date is set for the 26th of the 12th lunar month. Really, that's great news. But I remember cousin Shu only went on a blind date during the summer break, right? He's getting married so soon? My mom chuckled twice, then suddenly whispered, Yes, I thought it was fast too. Your eldest aunt told me it's because your cousin's fiancée is already pregnant. I'm just telling you. Don't spread the word yet, and don't talk to your cousin Shu about it. The first 3 months are still unstable, and your aunt's family hasn't made it public yet. Got it, Mom. That's a great thing. Auntie must be overjoyed, right? Mm-hmm. Your aunt couldn't stop smiling when she called me. Now that your cousin is getting married and already has a child, it's double the happiness. Listening to my mom's joy, I couldn't help but think, if Mom knew she already had triplets, 1 grandson and 2 granddaughters, she would probably be even happier than she is now. But this isn't urgent. After all, the mother of the children and I haven't progressed to that stage yet. If I let Mom and Dad know about Shihan and the babies, they would probably rush over to see their daughter-in-law and grandchildren immediately. To avoid putting pressure on Sushi Han, I need to secure the mother of my children here first. Son, how are things at school recently? Also, do you have enough money? If not, tell Mom, and I'll have your dad transfer money to you. I'm doing well, Mom. You and Dad take good care of yourselves. Don't worry about me. School is great, and I have enough for living expenses. Your son has other sources of income. Quote, Son, are you working part-time? You don't need to worry about money. University is for studying and enjoying life. You'll have plenty of time to work and earn money later. Don't overwork yourself. Hearing my mom's concern, I felt a warmth in my heart. I lowered my voice. I know. By the way, son, you're a sophomore this year. Have you found a girlfriend at school? My mom's gossiping spirit was burning brightly. I couldn't help but smile. Not only do I have a girlfriend, and I even have children now. Mom, why are you so anxious? Haha, your mom isn't anxious. It's just that you're in college now, you can date. Mom, what if I not only found a girlfriend in college, but also got you and Dad a grandson. How would you and Dad feel? I asked tentatively. My mom was stunned for a moment, then immediately said excitedly, "That would be wonderful. Your dad and I would be so happy we couldn't sleep for days." "Son, do you have something to tell me?" I was amused by her exaggerated tone. Just then, the little nurse nearby gestured that the birth certificates were ready. I quickly said into the phone, "Mom, I can't talk now. I have something to take care of outside. I'll call you back. You and Dad take good care of yourselves." "Okay, your dad and I are fine. You go take care of your business, son." After my mom hung up, her mind couldn't help but recall the conversation she'd overheard when the call first connected. The baby's father's name is Ching Lang. She definitely hadn't misheard. That confirming voice was undoubtedly her son's, Ching Lang the Lang from the wave. It must be her son. My mom got excited, considering the possibility. Old Chin, come here quick!" My dad, Qin Guanghui, walked over upon hearing the commotion and asked, "What is it? What did our son say?" My mom looked at him with gleaming eyes, speaking mysteriously. "Old Chin, I think our Lang is up to something at school." My dad frowned. "What could he be up to? When I just called our son, I heard..." My mom recounted the conversation she'd heard to my dad. My dad was stunned after hearing the whole thing. He slowly raised his head, saying with disbelief, "No way, did you mishear?" "Impossible. I absolutely did not mishear. Our son said it himself. And when I asked him if he had a girlfriend, not only did he not answer, but he hinted to me, 'Not only do I have a girlfriend, but I also have grandchildren.' That certainly wasn't a casual remark." My mom's excitement was clear as she grabbed my dad's arm. "Old twin, do you think we're about to become grandparents?" My dad took a deep breath. As this thought surfaced, he felt himself losing his composure. "How about this? We'll call our son back later and confirm. If it's true, we need to make plans soon." "What plans? Are we going to see our son and daughter-in-law?" my mom asked excitedly. My dad gave her a helpless look. "You're getting ahead of yourself. Since our son hasn't told us, it means the situation is probably different from what we're imagining. But no matter what, if our son has a girlfriend and she might be pregnant, the living allowance we give him is definitely not enough. I'll transfer some more money to him later." My mom quickly nodded, walking around the room happily. "Old Hien, if our son really found a partner in college, that's a great thing. College relationships are pure. It's not so easy once you start working. Look at Shu. He's almost 30 and only just getting married." My dad also smiled, his heart filled with anticipation for the scene of his son bringing home his pregnant daughter-in-law. At the hospital, I held the 3 newly processed birth certificates and walked out, intending to go straight back to the postpartum center. Just as I reached the entrance, a middle-aged woman bumped into me head-on. Unable to avoid her, I quickly caught her to steady her, but the items in my hand dropped. After she regained her balance, she quickly apologized. "Excuse me!" Then she helped me pick up the items on the floor. 3 birth certificates. You had triplets. She couldn't help but curiously look at the mother's name section on the certificates. It read, Sushi Han. Fang Yaxian's heart sank upon seeing the familiar name, Sushi Han. It's exactly the same as her daughter's name. The mother's ID number followed. She quickly looked down, wanting to confirm the terrifying thought in her mind. However, just as she saw the first 4 digits of the ID number, a long, slender hand reached out and took the birth certificate from her. The person said politely, "Thank you." Fang Yaxian looked up at me. I was very handsome, tall, and sunny, standing at a striking 185 centimeters. Seeing her slightly dazed, I asked, "Auntie, are you okay?" Fang Yaxian quickly shook her head. "I'm fine, I'm sorry. I was busy looking for my phone to answer a call and didn't notice you. I'm so sorry." I shook my head, about to sidestep and leave, when Fang Yaxian suddenly said, "Handsome, are you here at the hospital to handle a birth certificate?" Seeing my confusion, Fang Yaxian pointed at the birth certificates in my hand. "I accidentally saw them just now. I can't believe you're a dad already at such a young age. Congratulations." "Thank you," I simply replied. I didn't want to chat much with a stranger. Fang Yaxian clearly sensed my attitude. Her extra question was actually to try and see the remaining digits of the mother's ID number. But then she thought, it's impossible. Her daughter was only a sophomore in college. How could she have a baby? It must be a coincidence of names. But the first 4 digits of the ID number are the same as her daughter's. The first 2 digits represent the province, and the third and fourth represent the city code within the province. 4 identical digits meant that the mother on the birth certificate, Sushi Han, not only had the same name as her daughter, but was also from the same area. Isn't that too coincidental? As Fang Yaxian was about to say a couple more words to me, I had already walked away. Fang Yaxian stared blankly at my receding figure. Just then, her phone rang again. She quickly shook her head. It must all be a coincidence. There are too many people with the same name. It certainly isn't my daughter. My daughter is so well behaved. She's never dated since elementary school. How could she suddenly have a baby? It seems I haven't seen my daughter in a long time. Everything reminds me of her. I need to go see my precious daughter and relieve this longing. The call was from her husband. Fang Yaxian answered. Old Su, why do you keep calling me? I just bumped into someone because I was trying to answer your call. Suba, her husband on the other end, asked with concern. You bumped into someone? Are you okay? I'm fine. Hearing her husband's concern, a smile appeared on Fang Yaxian's face. I just bumped into a young man at the hospital entrance. You were going to see our daughter, so why are you at the hospital? Suba asked with a worried frown. I am going to see our daughter, but it was raining when I went to the airport yesterday and I caught a slight cold. I have a bit of a headache, so I wanted to stop by the hospital first. Su Shihan had found out she was pregnant last summer. Afraid of her parents finding out, she used an internship as an excuse not to go home for the new year. Suba and Suma hadn't seen their daughter in over half a year. Suba was relieved to hear this. You need to take care of yourself too. If it's a cold, take some medicine before seeing our daughter. Fang Yaxian laughed exasperatedly. I know! Oh, old Su, the young man I just bumped into at the hospital entrance was here to get a birth certificate for his child. When I helped him pick it up, I saw that the mother's name was the same as our daughter's. Do you think... Could our daughter have had a baby? Don't let your imagination run wild. How is that possible? How old is our daughter? She's not even 20, and she's just a sophomore in college. How could she have a baby? That's true. I also thought it was unlikely. Also, old Su, I saw 3 birth certificates. Triplets. Young people these days are too much. Stop thinking nonsense. By the way, send me a video when you have dinner with our daughter tonight. Fang Yaxian hung up the phone. After seeing the doctor, she set off for Sushihan's residence. But then, the unexpected happened. Sushihan's mother didn't know that her daughter had given birth to my triplets. At this moment, Fang Yaxian in Zhonghai dialed her daughter's number. She realized it had been too long since she'd seen her daughter. Sushihan, who was eating her confinement meal, was startled when her phone rang. It's my mom! She quickly answered the call. The call connected, and Fang Yaxian said cheerfully, My precious daughter, guess where I am? Sushihan instantly became wary upon hearing this. Could my mom have come to Zhonghai? She thought for a moment and tentatively asked, Mom, you should be at home watching TV and doing your nails right now, right? Haha, nope. I'm in Zhonghai. Aren't you surprised? My mom's excited voice on the phone was like a bolt of lightning that left Sushihan speechless. Mom really came to Zhonghai, and she specifically called me. She must be planning to visit. What should I do? She was currently at the Postpartum center and had 3 babies. Will the secret of the babies be exposed? But if Mom and Dad find out I had a baby when I'm only a sophomore, I can't imagine the consequences. Mom and Dad had forbidden her from dating since she was a child, let alone having a baby in college. She absolutely couldn't let them know about the baby, or they would kill her. Thinking of this, Sushihan felt her whole body trembling, but she forced herself to calm down. Mom, why did you suddenly come to Zhonghai? Fang Yaxian smiled and said, Mom came to attend your Aunt Wang's granddaughter's 1-month celebration. It happened to be in Zhonghai, so I came a day early to see you. Your dad wanted to come too, but it's not a holiday, and he really couldn't get away, so he sent me as his representative to see you. I just went to your dorm and am now walking towards the school gate. You'll see me soon. Hearing this, Sushihan nearly dropped her phone. Mom went to my dorm. Did she find out that I took a long leave from school? No, Mom's tone doesn't sound like she knows anything. Or she wouldn't be smiling and talking to me like this, and my roommates don't know I was pregnant either. She had quickly completed the entire semester's credits in over a month after finding out she was pregnant, and had moved out of the dorm before her belly got big. Darling, your neighbors across the hall said your dorm went out for a group meal. Where are you? Mom will come find you. Mom will treat you all today. Sushi Han tightly held her phone. In a matter of seconds, her scholarly superbrain came up with countless excuses. Finally, she said into the phone, "Mom, that's too bad. I didn't go out to eat with my roommates today. I took on an off-campus assignment from the school and am currently at ancient capital Jiaoda University, engaging in academic exchange with the students there. Mom, next time you can call me in advance so I can arrange a time, and we won't miss each other." Zang Yaxian was disappointed to hear her daughter wasn't in Zhonghai, but she was proud to hear her daughter was doing an academic exchange at ancient capital. "Daughter, when are you coming back?" Sushi Han estimated the time her mother would be in Zhonghai for the 1-month celebration. "Mom, I just arrived at Jiaoda yesterday. This exchange will last a week." Fang Yaxian smiled. "A week of exchange sounds great. My good girl, focus on your exchange there. I know you and Dad miss me. Don't worry, I will definitely come home for the winter break this year. Then our whole family can reunite." "You won't be back until winter break? What about summer break? You won't be home for the 2 months of summer break?" Sushi Han glanced at the 3 little ones in the crib. It was already May. Summer break would start in 2 months. The babies would still be small then, and she certainly couldn't leave them. "I'm not sure about summer break yet. The school might have arrangements, but I'll definitely go home if I have time." "Don't worry." Fang Yaxian didn't think much of it. She thought that if her daughter wasn't coming back for the summer break, she would bring her husband to Zhonghai to stay for a while. Her daughter's studies and career are the most important. Afraid that she might accidentally let something slip, Sushi Han quickly changed the subject. "Mom, you said Aunt Wang's nephew already has a child? That's so fast." "Yes, I was surprised when I got the call too. Aunt Wang's son had just gotten married when you started college, and it hasn't been long, and the baby is already a month old. Aunt Wang's family must be very happy to have a granddaughter." Sushi Han, having just become a mother, knew how happy family members are when a baby is added to the family. "Your Aunt Wang talked to me for over half an hour that day. She was so happy." "But daughter, I don't think girls should rush to have children. You are only a sophomore now. Don't even think about dating. Your studies should be your priority at this stage. By the way, you haven't dated at school, have you?" Sushi Han glanced nervously at me beside her, biting her lower lip, and said shyly, "Mom, what are you talking about?" Fang Yaxian thought her daughter was just shy and immediately sighed with relief. "Daughter, Mom is just telling you. You don't need to be embarrassed. Mom is concerned about you. Daughter, you are young right now, so you must think carefully about relationships. Mom saw a news report a while ago about a freshman girl who was spoiled by her parents since childhood. She ended up having a baby in her sophomore year, took a leave of absence because of it, and eventually broke up unhappily." Sushi Han was startled. "Mom, I understand these things. I won't do that. Don't worry. And Mom knows you've been smart and independent since you were little. You definitely wouldn't do such a thing. My daughter has been a straight-A student since childhood. She rarely gives her and her husband anything to worry about." They chatted for a couple more sentences. Sushi Han asked her mom to take good care of herself in Shanghai, and then hung up the phone. I had been by her side all along and heard everything Fang Yaxian said on the phone clearly. Seeing Sushi Han's mood slightly low, I gently took her hand. "Shihan, don't worry. I am not the man in that news report, and you are not that girl. I will not abandon you and the babies. I am different from him." Sushi Han was feeling down because she was a little uncertain about the future. Her parents would find out about the birth eventually, and she was very worried about their reaction. She hadn't been dwelling on the news story her mom mentioned, but she hadn't expected me to suddenly say this to her. It made her feel even more secure. "I believe you." Fang Yaxian hung up on her daughter and immediately called Suba. "Well, did you see our daughter? Why aren't you sending me a video? Why call me?" Suba said anxiously. "I can't see our daughter." "No need for a video. I didn't see our precious daughter. I just spoke to her on the phone. I came at a bad time. She was sent by the school to ancient capital Jiaoda for academic exchange. She just left yesterday." Suba thought this was a good thing. Our daughter is only a sophomore and can already represent the school for exchange. That means our daughter is amazing. His tone was full of pride. After chatting with her husband, Fang Yaxian immediately sent a message to her daughter, saying that she would wait for her in Zhonghai until she returned. Sushi Han frowned slightly when she saw the WeChat message. The 1-week academic exchange was something she had made up on the spot. Now her mom said she would wait for a week in Shanghai. She couldn't find another excuse to refuse to see her mom. If she made another excuse, her mom would get suspicious. 1 week later would be 18 days after her delivery. With my careful care, her body was recovering quickly. She felt noticeably better. And since it was May, the weather was also getting warmer. She could manage to go out once. If she didn't see her mom would truly become suspicious. So Sushi Han replied, "Okay, Mom, you enjoy yourself in Shanghai these few days. I'll see you when I get back." During dinner that night, Sushi Han and I tacitly avoided mentioning the issue, but I knew this problem couldn't be avoided. The children have been born, and we must be honest with our parents about the situation. Sushi Han, as the girl, must be scared, and as the head of the family, I have to shoulder this responsibility. I spent the last few hours organizing my thoughts. Now it was time to have a serious talk with Sushi Han about our future and the babies. "Shihan, let's talk." "Ching Lang, let's talk." We spoke almost simultaneously. Sushi Han looked up and smiled at me. "Ching Lang, I think it's better to keep our situation and the baby's situation hidden from our parents for now. My parents have always been very much against me dating in college. They want me to focus my energy on studying, and they absolutely would not be able to accept having a child." I listened to her concerns and frowned slightly. "Shihan, I understand your aunt and uncle's perspective, but I don't think we should hide this. The babies have been born, they came into this world legitimately, there's nothing to hide, everything should be open and honest. Shihan, no matter what difficulties arise, I will face them with you. We will overcome them together, as a family. Shihan, from the day you came to find me, I already decided that I would be fully responsible for you and the babies. I want to marry you and raise the babies together." It was the first time Sushi Han had heard me say I wanted to marry her so directly. She raised her head in shock, looking at me with wide eyes. As our eyes met, a flush of shy red instantly crept up her pink cheeks. "Ching Lang, are we really going to get married?" I smiled, my handsome eyes fixed on her. "Shihan, we already have 3 babies together. Are you planning to not marry me? Are you planning to abandon me after you've had your way?" Sushi Han quickly denied it. "No, I wouldn't." "That's good. We definitely have to get married. The babies need a legitimate identity and a complete family. A father and a mother are essential." Sushi Han's body trembled slightly. A strange, wonderful feeling spread through her chest. The warm sensation made her emotional. "Shihan, don't worry. I will be a responsible and good father, and I will be a responsible and good husband. I will handle the issues with the parents." Sushi Han slowly nodded. "Could we wait a little while, please? The babies are still small. When it's summer break, I'll take you and the babies back to see my parents, okay?" I thought it over and nodded. "That's fine. I'll listen to you. My mom said she's going to wait for me here for a week, Ching Lang. I want to go see her alone after the week is up." 1 week from now, you will have rested for almost 20 days, and the weather is nice lately. Going out to see Auntie once is fine. Since you don't want me to go with you, you have to promise me to take good care of your body, and definitely not overexert yourself. These things are crucial during your confinement period." Sushi Han nodded obediently. "Okay, I'll listen to you." After dinner, I was about to play on my phone when a call came in. The screen displayed, "Dad." The unexpected happened. My dad was calling to verify his suspicion that I was a new father. "Son, what are you doing?" Quote, "Just resting, Dad. Mom called during the day. Why are you calling again at night? Did something happen?" No. Your mom and I are fine. I wasn't around when your mom called you during the day, and tonight she insisted I call you again. By the way, son, your mom said today that you seem to have a girlfriend at school. Is that true?" I immediately guessed that my attitude earlier had made my mom suspicious, and Dad was trying to gather information. However, I had just agreed with Sushi Han tonight to wait until summer break to tell our parents. So I had to deflect the question. "Dad, are you two getting anxious? Parents usually start rushing to get their kids married after college graduation. I'm only a sophomore. Why are you starting to rush me already? It's too soon. I know my cousin is getting married, and you and Mom are probably envious of Auntie, but we don't need to be envious of this. Your son will have it all eventually." "You rascal! Your mom and I aren't envious. We're just concerned about your personal life." "My personal life is great, Dad. You and Mom should go out more and enjoy yourselves. Your son is grown up. You should take this time to spend more time alone as a couple. Otherwise, once you have grandchildren to look after, you won't have time. Dad, you need to cherish the present. Stop your smooth talk. Your mother and I are an old married couple. What couple time do we need? The father and son exchanged a few jokes. My dad hung up the phone, chuckling. This boy definitely has something going on. He felt a surge of excitement in his heart. Wife, transfer 50,000 yuan to our son. If he asks, tell him that our business has been good recently, and it's just pocket money for him. My mom was excited when she heard this. Old Chin, you're transferring money to our son. Did he tell you anything just now? My dad shook his head. Quote, no, he didn't. But as soon as I asked, he started deflecting the topic. I think this matter is more than likely true. The next day, Sushi Han had just finished lunch and was about to rest when Ling Xiao's call came in. Shihan, my dad saw the walnut carving. He absolutely loves it. He said that pair of walnuts is worth more than 200,000 yuan. It's worth 500,000. I was the one who underestimated it. Please explain to Ching Lang. This extra 300,000 yuan is to make up the difference. Xiao. 200,000 was already enough. Ching Lang didn't say anything about wanting more. You should keep it. Otherwise, I'd be too embarrassed to ask Ching Lang to carve anything for you next time. Hearing her say that, Sushi Han said no more, but she was very surprised. She hadn't expected the pair of walnuts I carved to be worth 500,000 yuan. Shihan, Auntie is staying at my place tonight. My mom is bored staying home every day to take care of my dad. It's great that Auntie Fang is here. They can keep each other company. My mom said Auntie Fang will stay at my house these few days, and she'll take her around Shanghai. You don't need to worry about Auntie. Sushi Han smiled. I'm relieved to have my friend Huang Yi accompanying my mom. They chatted for a while. Sushi Han then received a message from her mother, Fang Yaxian, accompanied by a photo of them having dinner that night. Daughter, I'm waiting for you at Xiao Xiao's house. You and Huang Yi should take this opportunity to catch up. It's rare for me to come to Shanghai, so don't worry. Mom is doing well at your Huang Yi's house. Tonight, Xiao Xiao bought a pile of carved walnuts for your Uncle Lin. Fang Yaxian chatted with her daughter about what just happened. That middleman Uncle Lin used was too unscrupulous, hiding a 200,000 yuan difference. No wonder Auntie Huang found out. Quote, yes, and didn't he get scolded? Plus all his hidden private money was confiscated. By the way, Shihan, that pair of walnuts Xiao Xiao brought back today is really nice. I heard it was carved by a friend of hers. The person is only 20 years old, the same age as you, but he has such great craftsmanship. He's a very promising young man. Sushi Han, of course, knew that I was the one who carved the walnuts, and she was lucky enough to witness the whole process. Now that her mother was discussing it with her, Sushi Han felt a sense of pride, and also a touch of anticipation. Mom will probably like Ching Lang in the future, right? After all, he is truly outstanding. Daughter, Mom hopes you can be like him too. Study your professional knowledge more and strive for excellence. That's the only way to keep improving. Su Shihan glanced at me, playing with the babies, lowered her head and smiled. Okay, Mom, I'll definitely learn from him. After hanging up the phone, Su Shihan told me about the extra 300,000 yuan Ling Xiao transferred and praised me for being so exceptional. I smiled when I heard this. The system's products are indeed quality goods. From now on, I basically wouldn't have to worry about the financial issues of raising the babies. 2 days later, Huang Qiuhe and Fang Yaxian walked into the postpartum center, laughing. Wang Qiuhe's friend's daughter was having her confinement here, and they had agreed to visit earlier. Since Fang Yaxian was at her house, she asked Fang Yaxian to come along. As soon as Fang Yaxian entered the door, she saw a familiar face. Young man, what a coincidence! Fang Yaxian smiled and greeted me. I, who was coming down to pick up a package, thought for a moment and remembered that this was the aunt I had bumped into at the hospital that day. I nodded. Hello, Auntie. Fang Yaxian smiled and nodded, walking past me without saying much. After she passed, Huang Qiuhe asked Fang Yaxian curiously, Old Fang, do you know that handsome young man? Not really. I ran into him at the hospital that day. Old Huang, this young man is impressive. Don't let his age fool you. He's already the father of 3 children. 3 children? How early did he get married? Huang Qie was surprised and turned back to look at me, finding it incredible. Fang Yaxian laughed. It's not what you think. He has triplets. Huang Qiuhe was even more surprised and lowered her voice. I can't believe this young man is so powerful. He actually had triplets. The two chatted happily and entered the elevator. Old Shu's daughter-in-law married well. Her in-laws treat her well. This postpartum center is the best in Shanghai. They booked the VIP room and spent a lot of money. On the third floor, Sushi Han was holding the third baby, standing by the window at the end of the corridor, basking in the sun. The third baby, Kexin, slept less than her brother and sister. Since the small infant would cry upon waking up, Sushi Han brought her out, afraid of waking the other two babies. With her mother by her side and the warm sunlight, Kexin quickly stopped crying. The elevator door chimed. Sushi Han smiled and spoke to Kexin in her arms. "Kexin, should we go back to the room? Your brother and sister will be worried if they wake up and don't see mommy." She carried her daughter into room 308 next door. Fang Yaxian had just stepped out of the elevator and saw a young woman at the end of the corridor, carrying a baby and entering a room. Fang Yaxian paused slightly because the back view looked so much like her daughter. Unfortunately, the time was too short for Fang Yaxian to confirm. Huang Tiuhe also saw it and said in confusion, "That new mom just now, why did she look so much like your Shihan? That slender neck and her back view are really identical to Shihan." Fang Yaxian thought for a moment and shook her head. "She does look a bit similar, but it's probably just a resemblance. Shihan is currently doing academic exchange at ancient capital Joda." Huang Tiuhe nodded. "That's certainly true, it can't be Shihan. After all, this is a postpartum center, and the girl just now must be a mother." Fang Yaxian thought it was impossible, but the back view really did resemble her daughter. "Maybe I haven't seen my daughter in too long, so I see a bit of her in everyone." The two didn't dwell on this small incident and went straight to their destination, room 301. Old Mrs. Xu was delighted to see them and immediately welcomed them in, seating them on the sofa to chat. Just then, I pushed a small cart upstairs. The cart was loaded with a pile of express boxes. I passed by the open door of room 301 without looking and continued pushing the cart. Wang Tiuhe looked at me. "Isn't that the young man we met downstairs just now? He lives on this floor too. What a coincidence." Fang Yaxian smiled. "It is quite a coincidence. I've only been in Shanghai for a few days, and I've run into him several times." The resident of room 308 was very famous in the postpartum center. They had triplets, which is a very small probability. It caused a sensation throughout the entire postpartum center on the day they arrived. When Fang Yaxian heard this, she joined the conversation. "Old Huang and I were just talking about this downstairs. Young people these days are amazing. To have triplets at such a young age." "It's more than that. The father of those children who just passed by, don't let his youth fool you. He's very capable. He cooks excellent confinement meals. Since they arrived, they haven't needed the center's standard meals. He cooks 6 meals a day for his wife himself, and he does it exceptionally well." Fang Yaxian was somewhat surprised. Thinking of my handsome face, she thought, not only is this young man good-looking, but he also dotes on his wife so much. It's strange, though. The young couple in 308 looks quite young, but they've been here for a week, and we haven't seen any of their elders or family members come over. Fang Yaxian felt a subtle strangeness when she heard this. "I'll go to 308 to say hello. I've never seen triplets before." Old Mrs. Xu immediately got excited when she heard this. "Let's go together. I haven't formally greeted them either." The three took some fruits and were about to go to 308 when the new mom in the room suddenly called out, "Mom, don't go. Come here quickly and look." The baby spit up. With this distraction, Fang Yaxian lost the thought of going to 308. She and Huang Qiuhe accompanied the baby to the clinic. When I returned to the room, Sushi Han was playing with the crying third baby, Kexin. "Kexin, my little darling, do you know Daddy is back and want Daddy to play with you?" As soon as the little one saw me, her expression instantly changed from cloudy to sunny. She smiled happily when I picked her up. Seeing this, Sushi Han deliberately pouted. "Kexin, you little rascal, Mommy played with you for so long and you didn't smile, but you're happy as soon as Daddy comes back. You're making Mommy so sad." She pretended to cry, holding her small pink fists to her eyes and rubbing them gently. Paired with her slightly pouted pink lips, she looked incredibly adorable. I laughed, holding Kexin, and leaned in close to Sushi Han. "Kexin, Mommy is jealous. Quick, kiss Mommy and comfort her." Kexin, held in my arms, pressed her little face against Sushi Han's cheek, leaving a cute little wet mark. Sushi Han was meeting her mother in the evening, so she started preparing nervously at noon. She was very worried that her mother would find out about her giving birth to triplets for me. If the secret is exposed, will Mom be very disappointed in me? She first needed to wash her hair. She hadn't washed her hair since giving birth, and since she was going out to see her mother, she had to tidy herself up. The postpartum center would arrange hair washing for new moms, but only after 2 weeks, and the water temperature had to be strictly controlled, with immediate blow drying afterward. Sushi Han's current condition was suitable for washing her hair. I carefully washed her hair myself. The water temperature was perfect, not hot at all when it touched her scalp, but her face flushed red with steam. Her heart and eyes felt warm. I spoke, looking down at her. How's the water temperature? Is it too hot? Sushi Han gently shook her head, her beautiful eyes cast downwards. Her curled eyelashes looked like 2 small fans. After washing her hair, I immediately brought over the hairdryer and was about to help her dry it. I'll do it myself, Sushi Han said, a little embarrassed. Apart from her own mother helping her when she was little, this was the first time a boy had helped her wash her hair. But I moved her hand away, saying domineeringly, I'll do it. Just sit still. Isn't it only right for me to help the mother of my children blow dry her hair? It's indeed inconvenient to wash your hair. Bending over can make the incision hurt a little, but sitting here to dry your hair is completely fine. I gently pinched her pink cheek. The softness of her skin made me want to keep my hand there. Be obedient and sit properly. Enjoy my 5-star Tony service. A hint of sweetness rose in Sushi Han's heart. The sound of the hairdryer started. My movements were gentle, carefully sorting her hair and drying it little by little. She looked at her flushed cheeks in the mirror, momentarily stunned. Is this what a happy woman looks like? I look even better than usual. Ding! Detected host is combing the baby's mother's hair. Special reward. Basic makeup and styling skill and a set of professional new mom makeup products. I smiled when I heard the system's voice. Now that I had makeup and styling skills, I could put makeup on Sushi Han and style her hair. Sushi Han would be beautifully dressed up. Congratulations to the host for activating the basic makeup and styling skill. The professional new mom makeup products will be delivered to the locker at the entrance of the host's postpartum center in 5 minutes. It was perfect timing since Shihan was meeting her mother-in-law tonight. After Shihan washed her hair, paired with my professional styling, her mother-in-law definitely wouldn't notice anything wrong. After blow-drying her hair, I smiled. Shihan, wait for me. I'm going downstairs to pick up a package. Sushi Han nodded. After watching me leave, she picked up her phone. There was a message from her mother asking what time she would arrive in Zhonghai today. She quickly replied to the message. Mom, I'll arrive at the airport at 5 p.m. I'll go straight to the restaurant to find you. Fang Yaxian replied with delight. Then Mom will pick you up at the airport. We can go to the restaurant together. No need, Mom. I'm coming back with the school. If you pick me up at the airport, my classmates will be envious. My daughter is so thoughtful. All right, then Mom will wait for you at the restaurant. It's not far from your school. We can chat for a long time tonight. Sushi Han put away her phone and looked in the mirror. Her postpartum recovery was quite good. She hadn't gained much weight and was still beautiful. There seemed to be no issue with her figure, and her skin looked good. After washing her hair, she felt completely refreshed. With this look, Mom probably won't find out anything, right? While she was thinking, she saw me come in carrying a box. Ching Lang, what did you buy? That's a huge box. I placed the box on the table. It was filled with makeup products. Foundation, eyeshadow, blush, lipstick, all the major brands, even a full set of brushes and tools. Sushi Han's eyes were wide with surprise. Ching Lang, are these for me? They're all big brand makeup suitable for new moms. Put on a little makeup today to meet Auntie and brighten your complexion. Auntie definitely won't notice anything wrong. Sushi Han looked at me, touched, her heart full of sweetness. But looking at the professional makeup case, she felt a little helpless. I don't really know how to put on makeup. She was famous at school for going without makeup, rarely using cosmetics, and only occasionally applying lip gloss for color. She had never used such professional makeup before. I winked at her. Don't worry, baby's mom. Just relax and leave yourself to me. I know how to put on makeup. Sushi Han was very surprised. She subconsciously sat up straight. Although I was a boy, she believed me when I said I could do it. After working for half an hour, I looked at the makeup on Sushi Han's face and clapped my hands in satisfaction. Done! Sushi Han immediately turned her head in surprise to look at herself in the mirror. A thin layer of foundation made her naturally fair skin look even more translucent. The milk tea-colored blush gave her a healthy flush paired with a matte lip glaze of the same color. The entire look was the epitome of makeup that looks like no makeup. Sushi Han looked at me in surprise. "Ching Lang, you did a great job." The lightly made-up Sushi Han looked even more bright and charming. Suddenly, I had a thought. The baby's mom looks so beautiful. It's too dangerous for her to go out without me. You were beautiful to begin with. I just made your complexion look a little better. This way, Auntie will think you've been doing well recently and won't worry. Sushi Han nodded, happily admiring herself in the mirror for a while, and then went to choose her clothes. It's almost time. I should be leaving. Sushi Han fed the 3 babies, tidied her clothes, and said, "I'll put the thermos bottle in your bag." "Good. I'm calling a car now. We'll go downstairs once the car arrives so you don't have to stand outside in the wind." My thoughtfulness touched Sushi Han. I escorted her to the car, specifically telling the driver to keep all the windows closed. The driver realized we were coming from the postpartum center and immediately understood, quickly closing all the windows. I stood in front of the car and said goodbye to Sushi Han. "Text me before you finish tonight. I'll come pick you up. Don't come back too late by yourself. It's not safe." Sushi Han nodded. After she left, the driver smiled and said, "Your husband is so caring towards you." Hearing this, Sushi Han couldn't help but look back at me. I was still standing at the entrance of the postpartum center, watching her go. Yes, he's very good to me. At this time, Fang Yaxian was also on her way to the restaurant. The following is the English translation of the text you provided. That afternoon, she even put on a beautiful makeup look. On the way, Fang Yaxian video called her husband. Suba immediately answered, even though he was still in the conference room. He eagerly asked, "Well, did you see our daughter?" Fang Yaxian laughed. "Look how impatient you are. Not yet. I'm on my way to the restaurant. My daughter and I are meeting at 6:30. I'll see her in half an hour." Suba smiled. "Fine. When you see her, don't just focus on chatting with her yourself. Remember to video call me so I can see her too. It's been so long since I've seen her." "Which restaurant did you book? Our daughter loves our hometown cuisine." "Did you book a Cantonese restaurant?" "It's a Cantonese restaurant. Right next to our daughter's school. Don't worry about these things. I'll make sure our daughter eats and drinks well." "Okay. And don't just give her things. Remember to leave her some cash. There are many places to spend money in college. I won't talk to you anymore. My meeting hasn't finished yet. Let's talk again when you see our daughter." Fang Yaxian glanced at the background behind him in surprise. It was indeed the company's conference room. "Old Sue, you're in a meeting? Why did you still answer my video call? I thought you had already met our daughter. How could I possibly focus on the meeting? But this meeting is about to end. I'll head back as soon as you meet our daughter, just in case we video call." Fang Yaxian smiled and nodded, ending the video call. She then video called her daughter. Sushi Han was in the taxi. Seeing her mother's video call, she quickly answered. "Mom, I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Have you arrived?" "I'll also be there in about 10 minutes. Why are you in a taxi? Didn't the school arrange a bus?" Sushi Han's heart tightened slightly. "They did, but the bus had to drop off a few local students first, and there were several stops in between. I was afraid of delaying our dinner, so I just took a taxi back." "My daughter is getting more and more beautiful. Darling, you even put on makeup today. Mom is already so eager to see you with my own eyes." "Mom, I'll be there soon." The mother and daughter ended the video call. Sushi Han looked out the window at the increasingly familiar streets, feeling nervous. "I'm about to see Mom. She shouldn't find out that I had a baby, right?" Sushi Han took a few deep breaths. "Come on, Sushi Han, you can do this. The babies and Ching Lang are waiting for you to go back." 10 minutes later, Sushi Han received a message from Fang Yaxian. "Precious daughter, I'm at the restaurant entrance. I'll wait for you here." Sushi Han's taxi also stopped right at that moment. She spotted Fang Yaxian right away. She walked up quietly and linked her arm through Fang Yaxian's from behind. "Mom!" Fang Yaxian turned around in surprise and immediately took her daughter's hand. "Shi Han! My precious daughter is getting more and more beautiful!" A voice suddenly called out, "Sushi Han!" Sushi Han turned around and saw her college classmate, Chen Mengyue. Chen Mengyue looked at Sushi Han in surprise. "Sushi Han, long time no see. You've gotten so much prettier." "I can't believe our bare-faced goddess is even more beautiful than a fairy with makeup on." Sushi Han felt a bad premonition. If they kept chatting, the unaware Chen Mingyue might ask where she had been during her leave of absence, which could make her mother suspicious. Sushi Han quickly interrupted the small talk, taking the initiative. Thanks, Chen Mingyue. Are you here for dinner? Chen Mingyue immediately nodded. Yeah, I just finished a small gathering with friends here. Are you here for dinner too? Yes. This is my mom. She came to Shanghai to see me, so we're having a meal together. After saying that, Sushi Han introduced her to Feng Yaxian. Mom, this is my classmate, Chen Mengyu. Oh, and Auntie. Auntie, you look so young. I thought you were her sister. Just as Chen Mengyu finished speaking, her friends called out to her. Well, I won't interrupt your dinner. I'll be leaving now. Bye! Bye! Sushi Han waved, feeling relieved. After Chen Mengyue left, Feng Yaxian said to Sushi Han, You have a good relationship with your college classmate. Mom, why did you bring so much stuff? Let me help you carry it. Sushi Han didn't want to talk too much about college classmates, fearing that it might lead to problems. Feng Yaxian moved the bag away. Mom can carry it herself. The items are many, but they're not heavy. They're all food and things I brought for you. As Feng Yaxian and Sushi Han talked, they walked toward the restaurant. Feng Yaxian suddenly felt something was amiss. Shihan, why do you smell like milk? Feng Yaxian hadn't noticed the scent much outside, but now that they were inside the restaurant, the space was smaller, and it was just her and Sushi Han. She could smell it. Hearing this, Sushi Han almost instinctively bent her head to sniff herself. Do I smell like milk? Why didn't I notice? She had deliberately washed her hair and body and put on new clothes today. Mom's nose is too sharp. Fortunately, her calm nature allowed her to quickly come up with an excuse. Quote, maybe it's because a new mom accidentally spilled a milk bottle on me on the plane. I blew it dry with a hairdryer and thought the smell was gone. I'll change into a new set of clothes tonight when I go back. After her daughter explained, Feng Yaxian still felt that something wasn't quite right. However, her daughter looked the same as before, even prettier. She certainly didn't look like someone who had given birth. Women often gain weight during pregnancy, and their figures are often out of shape, sometimes for months after giving birth, requiring a long time to recover their shape. My daughter clearly doesn't look like someone who has had a baby. I must be too sensitive and overthinking things. Oh, I see. There's a spot by the window. Let's go sit there. Sushi Han sighed internally with relief. At the table, Sushi Han took the shopping bags from Feng Yaxian. Mom, what did you buy for me? Feng Yaxian was excited to talk about it. Sweetheart, look, Mom bought you lots of food, all your favorites, and a new dress. Your Auntie Huang and I went shopping these past few days and bought you 2 bags. A backpack for carrying your textbooks to school and a single-shoulder chain bag for when you go out. Sushi Han was deeply touched. Her mother never forgot to buy things for her daughter, even when she was out shopping. Seeing her daughter's touching expression, Feng Yaxian quickly put the bags back. Shihan, your dad and I only have one daughter. You haven't been home for so long, and we miss you. Since I finally managed to come over, I had to bring more things. Even though you can buy these things yourself, this is Mom's way of showing my love. Thank you, Mom. Sushihan thought to herself, how wonderful it would be if her parents agreed to her relationship with Ching Lang and accepted the babies. The family would be complete. Silly girl, why are you thanking your mother? By the way, Shihan, you ran into your classmate at the entrance just now. Is she in your class? Seeing Sushihan nod, Feng Yaxian asked in confusion, then why did she say she hadn't seen you in a long time? Don't you usually take classes together? Sushihan had already prepared an answer when Chen Mengyu mentioned it. Mom, I went to Jeoda for an exchange, didn't I? We haven't taken classes together for a whole week. Seeing Feng Yaxian nod and agree that it was reasonable, Sushihan picked up the menu, diverting her mother's attention. Mom, you order the food. The Cantonese food here is good. I've eaten here a few times. Feng Yaxian quickly pushed the menu back. No, you order. Since you've been here a few times, you'll definitely choose better dishes than me. So Sushihan took the menu and ordered a few dishes, mostly ones that Feng Yaxian usually liked. After ordering, the mother and daughter began to chat. Shihan, Mom has noticed that you've become much prettier since you went to college. You're taking care of your appearance. You look stunning with a little light makeup on. Mom, today is a special occasion. I don't usually wear makeup. Feng Yaxian looked at her and smiled. Silly girl, you're in college now. It's good to know how to use makeup. Although my daughter is naturally beautiful, makeup is refinement. Mom is delighted that my daughter looks so good after putting on makeup. It's a shame Mom didn't think of it 2 days ago, or I would have bought you another set of cosmetics. Sushi-han remembered the entire set of cosmetics I had bought for her and quickly waved her hand. No need, Mom. I have a set of cosmetics. Feng Yaxian didn't think much of it, assuming her daughter had bought them herself. She took out her phone and transferred 5,000 yuan to her daughter. Sweetheart, you spend a lot of money in college, and the living allowance your parents give you isn't much. Buying a set of cosmetics must have cost you a lot of money. Don't let it affect your meals. Mom, there's no need. I have enough money to spend. She had indeed struggled financially before, but now that I was around, she hadn't worried about money for a long time. Moreover, she still had over 500,000 yuan in her card. The babies, red envelopes, and the money I earned from selling the carved walnuts. Take it. Your dad asked me to give it to you. You know your dad will be unhappy if I don't give it to you. Since she couldn't refuse, Sushi-han reluctantly accepted the money. Speak of the devil, your dad is video calling again. Feng Yaxian laughed and took out her phone to answer the video call, deliberately placing it on the table. Suba stared at the screen on the other end. As soon as the camera turned to his daughter, he couldn't help but smile. But when Sushi-han looked over, Suba immediately suppressed his smile, coughed twice, and returned to his stern expression. Shihan, have you lost weight? Sushi-han looked down at herself. No, Dad, I'm doing well. Girls all love to be slender. Our Shihan looks just right now. Feng Yaxian interjected, speaking up for her daughter. Slender or not slender, health is most important. Stop always thinking about losing weight. Eat more. Sushi-han nodded gently, listening to her father's stern tone, but every word was a loving concern. She felt a familiar warmth in her heart. Suba stared at his daughter. Did you put on makeup? Today is the last day of the exchange activity, so I put on a little light makeup. The school required it. It looks very nice, but looking good is secondary. You are still in college. Your studies are the priority. Don't date at school. Focus more on your studies. Why are you two talking like you're in a meeting? Old Sue, your daughter and I are about to eat. Don't be so cold. If you act like that, your daughter won't have the appetite to eat later. Suba immediately eased his expression when he heard his wife. You and your mother enjoy your meal. When you're on break, come home more often to visit. After hanging up the video call, Suba immediately smiled. His daughter, whom he hadn't seen in a year, had learned to dress up in college. She looked better and more energetic than when she was at home. On the other side, Chen Mengyue was on her way back to school. Remembering the scene earlier, she called Zang Feu. Zang Feu, I just ran into your goddess. Quote, you saw Sushi-han? Where? The guy on the other end of the phone asked hastily. At the entrance of the restaurant near the school. Her mother came to see her, and they are eating there. They just went in, so they should be there for a while. Do you want the location? Zang Feu was overjoyed and quickly said, yes! Send it over! I'll give you a big red envelope! He could finally see his goddess again after 9 months. Zhang Feiyu hung up the phone and was excited when he saw the location received on his phone. He immediately drove off. The unexpected happened. The baby's mother went to see her mother today and ran into a senior trying to steal her away. Classmate Sue, it really is you. I thought I saw wrong. Sushi-han looked at the boy in front of her, thought for a moment, and remembered that he was the president of the Zhonghai Student Union. Sushi-han didn't want to cause any trouble, so she just nodded lightly. Seeing that she didn't say anything, Zhang Feiyu turned to Feng Yaxian. Auntie, hello. I'm classmate Sue's schoolmate. My name is Zhang Feiyu. Feng Yaxian nodded lightly and didn't say much. Zhang Feiyu took the hint and didn't say anything more. Classmate Sue, I won't disturb your meal with Auntie then. See you at school later. Zhang Feiyu returned to his seat. During the meal, his eyes kept glancing at Sushi-han across the room. Sushi-han never looked at him, just chatting with her mother while eating. Her sweet look was overwhelmingly beautiful. She was indeed his goddess. After 9 months, she was even prettier. His goddess even wore makeup today. He had hit the jackpot. It's a pity my goddess is still so aloof and I didn't get a chance to talk to her much. But that's okay. The main focus of his plan today wasn't the goddess, but the goddess's mother. Zhang Feiyu signaled his friends with his eyes. The boys immediately started talking. Brother Fei, Your new car is so cool! That car must be expensive, right? Zang Feu put on a humble expression. It's not that expensive. It was 1.9 million yuan on the road. DMN, Brother Fei. You say 1.9 million yuan isn't expensive. It looks like you've been making a lot of money recently. After dinner, Fang Yaxian and Sushi Han walked toward Zhonghai University. Shihan, is that classmate Zhang also from your school? Sushi Han nodded. Yes, he's a senior in the 3rd year. Listening to his friends, that boy seems quite excellent. Shihan, Mom noticed that boy kept quietly looking at you during dinner. Does he like you? Sushi-han was startled. Mom, I don't know him well. Shihan, your dad and I both feel that at your age, it's not the right time to date. We can consider dating after you graduate from college. I know young people look forward to love, and that boy tonight was quite nice. If you really like him, you can consider it after you graduate. Sushi-han stopped when she heard this, and looked at Fang Yaxian seriously, correcting her. Mom, don't jump to conclusions. I don't like him. Fang Yaxian thought her daughter was being shy. She said, okay, Mom won't say anymore. Daughter, Mom has been through this. I understand these things. At your age, what you long for most is romantic love. The boy tonight has good family resources, is a top student, and is decent looking. If you don't like him, then tell Mom what type you like. When Sushi-han heard her mother's question, my image unconsciously appeared in her mind. The boy I like doesn't need to be too rich, but he must be responsible and know how to earn money to support a family. He doesn't need to be too handsome, as long as we appreciate each other's strengths. He needs to be serious and loyal to me alone and not be a playboy. His academic performance doesn't necessarily have to be outstanding. I'm a top student myself. He just needs to be able to balance family well. Fang Yaxian had just asked casually, but she was surprised by how specific her daughter's answer was. My daughter has never dated. Logically, she should have innocent fantasies about a partner. How can she describe her ideal boyfriend in such detail? After Sushi-han finished speaking, she turned around and saw Fang Yaxian's surprised expression. She inwardly panicked. Mom, where are you going tonight? Are you still staying at Auntie Huang's house? Dad must be at home alone, right? You've been taking care of him all these years. I wonder if he can take care of himself alone. When are you planning to go back? Fang Yaxian saw her daughter's natural expression and shook her head, not dwelling on it any further. Maybe it's the insights my daughter got from reading novels or watching TV series recently. Your dad can't take care of himself. He's been eating instant noodles for every meal the past few nights. He even looked thinner in the video call just now. That's why Mom is going back tonight. I only planned a 2 or 3 day trip this time. If it weren't to see my precious daughter, Mom would have gone back earlier. Mom, I'm worried about Dad being at home alone too. Then I won't make you stay. What time is your flight tonight? I'll take you to the airport later. No need. My flight is at 10:30 p.m. The airport is far from your school, and it will be late. You won't be able to get back into your dorm, and Mom wouldn't feel safe with you returning alone. Parents all over the world always worry about their children more than themselves. Seeing her mother wait so many days just to see her, Sushi-han's eyes felt a little warm. Mom, travel safe then. I'll come home to see you and Dad during summer break. She had already discussed with me that we would go home with the babies during the summer break, so she wouldn't have to dodge her parents anymore. Good girl. Study hard at school. Your dad and I will be waiting for you at home. The mother and daughter chatted until they reached Sushi-han's dorm building. Mom, I'm here. Don't come up. Climbing up and down to the 3rd floor is too much trouble. I'll call you a taxi to the airport. No rush. It's still 3 hours until 10 p.m. You can't carry all this stuff up yourself. Mom will take you up. Sushi-han glanced at the dorm behind her, a hint of worry in her eyes. It was around the time everyone came back to the dorm after dinner. I wonder if my roommates are in the dorm. If they were, the fact that she hadn't attended classes for a long time would quickly be exposed. But her mother had brought so much stuff. If she refused, her mother would definitely be suspicious. Sushi-han nodded. Okay. The mother and daughter carried the items upstairs. When they reached the door of room 333, Sushi-han raised her hand and knocked. There was no movement inside. Sushi-han took out her key and opened the door. The dorm was pitch black. She breathed a sigh of relief. She quickly turned on the light. Good, the roommates aren't back yet. Fang Yaxian helped her put the items on the table and looked at her daughter's bed. Sweetheart, the south is rainy and humid. Your quilt needs to be washed and aired out often. Fang Yaxian continued to look at her daughter's area. She rested one hand on the desk, but when she lifted it, she found a lot of dust on her palm. Sushi Han saw this and quickly complained. The wind in Zhonghai has been so strong recently. Nay! I was only away for a week, and the desk is covered in dust. I'll wipe it down before putting things in the cabinet. Fang Yaxian raised her head and gently clapped her hands. Then Mom will help you tidy up. After saying that, she picked up a cloth in a basin nearby and started fetching water to clean. Sushi Han squatted behind her, terrified of being exposed. Mom, I can do it myself. Mom, don't bother. It's getting late. Let me take you downstairs to get a taxi. Fang Yaxian looked at the time. It was already past 8 p.m. It was indeed getting late. Okay, Mom, we'll leave then. Remember to change the duvet cover and sheets before you sleep later. Mom, I'm not a 3-year-old child. I know all these things, don't worry. Sushi Han linked her arm with her mother's and led her out of the dorm. Although she was a little reluctant to let Fang Yaxian go, Sushi Han didn't dare to keep her. The roommates could come back at any moment, and meeting them would make exposure too easy. The two descended to the second floor. Suddenly, 3 girls were walking up, chatting and laughing. Sushi Han was instantly alarmed. Oh no, why are the roommates coming back at this exact moment? Her heart pounded, but her expression became increasingly aloof. She usually didn't talk much in the dorm, and this time she had been away for 9 months, so they were all a little distant from each other. The 3 roommates probably hadn't expected to run into Sushi Han here either, so their expressions were only slightly startled, and no one took the initiative to say hello. Sushi Han made a quick decision and walked past her roommates without looking. Fang Yaxian had never met her roommates, so brushing past them like this should allow them to get away with it. Indeed, Fang Yaxian didn't notice the 3 roommates. Sushi Han called a car. After seeing Fang Yaxian off, she turned to walk back. Sushi Han let out a big breath. Tonight was truly a close call. Sushi Han thought for a moment and decided she still needed to go back to the dorm to greet her roommates. She couldn't be away for too long tonight. She needed to return to the postpartum center. Sushi Han took out her phone and sent me a message. Ching Lang, I'm done here. After sending the message, she put her phone on the table and went to the bathroom. Suddenly, the phone screen lit up. It was a call from me. My incoming call had a special setting by Sushi Han. When the ringtone sounded, a group photo of our family of 5 would automatically pop up as the caller ID. The roommates beside her were instantly shocked. Wow, the babies are so cute. Sushi Han, is this handsome guy and these 3 babies? Sushi Han, who had just come out of the bathroom, knew the secret was out, so she admitted it generously. Yes, this is the babies, father, and our 3 babies. I'm going to take this call first. As soon as the call connected, I immediately spoke. Shihan, has Auntie left? Where are you now? You are not allowed to come back by yourself. Wait for me to come pick you up. Sushi Han smiled faintly. Okay, I'm at the school dorm. I'll send you the location. Sushi Han left a lot of tasty food for her roommates. The roommates decided to walk the popular campus beauty down, but as soon as they reached the dorm entrance, the unexpected happened. Sushi Han had just gone downstairs when she ran into her admirer, Zang Feu. Classmate Su, what a coincidence. We meet again. Would you like me to continue the translation of the remaining text, or would you like to discuss the next steps for Sushi Han and Ching Lang? Sushi Han glanced at Zang Feu and said nothing, only nodding politely. Zang Feu saw her roommates helping her with the luggage. Are you going somewhere? It's not safe for a girl to take a taxi alone so late. I'll take you, Sushi Han coldly replied. No need. Just then, a few students passing by saw Zang Fei's car, a Porsche 911. Wow, that car looks amazing. Zhang Feu, who had just been mercilessly rejected, immediately regained his confidence upon hearing this. Classmate Su, don't be so polite. Giving you a ride is the decent thing for a senior to do. Sushi Han frowned slightly, a little impatient. Seriously, no need, someone is picking me up. Zhang Feu completely dismissed her words, thinking it was just an excuse to politely decline. He was about to speak when the girls suddenly gasped. Holy cow, a Rolls Royce! What's with our school today? Why are there so many luxury cars? Zhang Feu couldn't help but turn his head to look. A black Rolls Royce parked next to the 911. instantly stealing all the attention. I was the one sitting in the Rolls-Royce. What a coincidence. I had called a car online and it turned out to be a Rolls-Royce. Sushi Han had no interest in these luxury cars, but when she saw me step out of the Rolls-Royce, her eyes instantly lit up. Her roommates also recognized me immediately. I was the handsome guy in the photo. They were all looking at me excitedly. "Shihan, your husband is so handsome. He's even better looking in person than in the photo." No wonder he was able to win the heart of our school's most beautiful student, Sushi Han, in college. He's so much more handsome than those young idols and movie stars on TV. I paid no attention to the people around me. I walked straight towards Sushi Han after getting out of the car. Standing together, we instantly became even more eye-catching. I placed the jacket I was carrying over Sushi Han's shoulders. I said gently, "Why did you come down so early? The wind is strong outside. Why didn't you wait in the dorm?" A wave of warmth rushed through Sushi Han's heart. "I just came down. These are my roommates. The things they're holding are mine." I immediately took the luggage, smiled, and nodded in greeting to the three girls. "Hello, thank you for helping Shihan with her luggage." The three greeted me back, feeling both excited and a little embarrassed, but their eyes couldn't help but take another look at me. Shihan's husband is truly handsome. Shihan's body can't be exposed to cold air right now, so we'll be going now, thank you all. After saying goodbye to Sushihan's roommates, we walked toward the Rolls-Royce. All the while, Sushihan and I didn't pay any attention to Zang Feu. Zang Feu was extremely upset. He couldn't help but shoot me a fierce glare. When we returned to the Postpartum Center, Sushihan asked about the car fare for the evening. She hadn't expected me to call a Rolls-Royce to pick her up. It must have been very expensive. I smiled and told Sushihan that it was a rideshare car and that the fare was the same as taking a premium taxi. Sushihan was shocked. Then she recalled news reports about people getting super luxury cars like Ferraris and Rolls-Royces through rideshare services. "Wow, your luck is really good." I smiled and said, "My luck has been great ever since you came to find me. Not only did I get the campus beauty to be the mother of my children, but I also got triplets and activated a system." Hearing my words, Sushihan's heart was filled with sweetness. We returned to the room, where the three little ones were sleeping soundly. When Sushihan came out after showering, the late-night snack I had prepared for her was ready. We sat at the dining table, eating. Sushihan suddenly looked up at me. "Ching Lang, that boy at school just now is a junior-senior named Zang Feu. He offered to drive me back, and I refused. I don't like him." When I got out of the car, I clearly felt the tense atmosphere. And when I held Sushihan's hand to leave, Zang Fei's jealousy and resentment were extremely obvious. However, I could also tell that Sushihan didn't like Zang Feu. The fact that Sushihan even bothered to explain the situation to me made my heart feel very warm. "Good. Eat up." Sushihan nodded her little head, then lowered it to drink her soup. The savory fish soup was a creamy white and very rich. She took a satisfying sip. "Was the meeting with Auntie smooth today?" Sushihan nodded, saying with a cute expression, "Yes, there were a few minor twists, but it went very well. We got through this small crisis." "That's good." I reached out and gently rubbed her head. Sushihan looked up at me, pouting. "Why do you always like to rub my head?" "I'm not a child." I looked at my hand and realized that I did this motion often. I didn't have a particular reason. I just couldn't help it. Every time I saw Sushihan's cute expression, I couldn't resist touching her head or squeezing her adorable little cheeks. That night, as she was going to sleep, Sushihan thought about the events of the evening. I am a grown man who goes out. I should have some money on me. She was currently managing all the money, so she should give me some pocket money. Sushihan opened her phone and transferred 200,000 yuan directly to me. The next morning, I got up and went to prepare the confinement meal for Sushihan. After putting the finished food into the insulated box, I checked my phone for messages. As soon as I opened it, I saw the transfer from Sushihan with a cute little note, "Your pocket money." I couldn't help but smile, looking up at the bedroom. I thought, it feels great to be paid by my wife. The babies grew day by day, and Sushihan's health recovered more and more. The day to go home was rapidly approaching. I wanted to go to the rental apartment to prepare, so I took the key to Sushihan's rental. I used my afternoon free time to check out the place. It had been vacant for a few days, and Shanghai was in its rainy season. I pushed the door open and noticed a faint, musty smell inside. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment of about 60 square meters. Squeezing 2 bedrooms into such a small space. I circled the room and couldn't help but frown. After checking the rental, I didn't do any cleaning, having already made up my mind. Sushi Han definitely couldn't continue living here after leaving the postpartum center. I locked the doors and windows and went straight to a nearby real estate agency. Since Sushi Han was familiar with this area, I planned to rent a larger apartment in the same neighborhood. Because I had enough money, the whole process went very quickly. I finally chose a 150 square meter 4-bedroom apartment with a monthly rent of 4,500 yuan. I smiled contentedly holding the contract and keys. Although it was a rental, this would be the small home for Sushi Han, the 3 babies, and me. I returned to the postpartum center at 8 p.m. Sushi Han hadn't fallen asleep. Since the babies were already asleep, she just kept a small nightlight on by the bed. When she heard the sound of the door unlocking, her heart fluttered. She carefully got out of bed and went to the living room, where she saw me quietly stepping inside. Seeing Sushi Han, I gently closed the door to avoid waking the sleeping babies. Then I walked to the living room and asked Sushi Han, "Still not sleeping?" I couldn't sleep. She actually wanted to ask me where I had been tonight, but considering our relationship, she stopped herself and didn't ask the curious question. "Are you hungry?" I asked Sushi Han while putting my bag on the sofa, rolling up my sleeves, and heading to the kitchen. She couldn't sleep because she hadn't seen me come back, but she was too shy to say that, so when I assumed she was hungry and couldn't sleep, she simply nodded. Sushi Han looked at my back, and with the warm yellow light in the room, she felt her heart completely full. By the end of the confinement month, everything in the rental apartment was fully prepared. All that was left was to bring Sushi Han and the 3 babies to their new home. I was full of anticipation for this. Sushi Han didn't realize it when we entered the neighborhood, thinking we were returning to her previous rental apartment. But when the car drove past her former Building 6 and continued deeper into the complex, she realized something was wrong. "Ching Lang, did we drive past it?" I smiled and shook my head. "No, not yet." The car finally stopped at Building 9. "I came back and checked a few days ago. The previous rental apartment was too small. It's not nearly big enough for our 3 babies and 2 adults, so I re-rented a bigger apartment." Sushi Han was both surprised and delighted by my words. She had been considering moving to a bigger place while at the postpartum center, but thinking of the various expenses for the 3 babies, she felt there was a huge financial burden ahead that would require a lot of money. So she planned to save more money and hadn't brought up the subject of moving to a bigger apartment. She hadn't expected me to proactively do what she wanted to do. She no longer felt reluctant to spend money, but was excited for the new life ahead. She wouldn't let the burden of earning money fall on my shoulders alone. The campus beauty, Sushi Han, had given birth to my triplets. When we left the hospital, I rented a big house. When Sushi Han pushed the door open, she smelled a faint floral fragrance in the air. She turned her head and saw a bouquet of fresh flowers placed on the shoe cabinet by the entrance. Before she could look closer, I embraced her and the flowers, holding them up to her. "Welcome home, Shihan. Thank you for your hard work these past few days. Having a baby is a very important but also very difficult thing for a woman." Sushi Han hadn't expected me to pay attention to such small ceremonial details. She gave a sweet smile and took the flowers from my hands. She was about to say thank you, but suddenly remembered I had told her not to use that word between us. "The flowers smell wonderful. I love them." Sushi Han walked into the apartment and looked around. "Ching Lang, this apartment is amazing. All your arrangements are so thoughtful. I love it. The babies will definitely love it too." Seeing the sparkling look in her eyes, I immediately felt that everything was worth it. The new life for our family of 5 had begun. Sushi Han fed the first baby, while I teased the 2 daughters next to her. The 2 little ones, full and content, were very active, waving their small fists and playing with me. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing a sweet and playful interaction with the babies. Reward: beginner combat skills, gaining abilities beyond Special Forces level skills. Sweet and playful interactions with the babies can earn combat skills beyond those of a Special Forces soldier. That's too awesome. With this skill, protecting the babies and their mother would be completely effortless. In just 2 seconds, I clearly felt the changes in my body. My arms instantly felt stronger, and it felt like I had boundless energy. Sushi Han turned around. The moment she saw me, she paused slightly. Was it her imagination? Why did he suddenly look stronger? Sushi Han had just finished lunch when her phone rang. It was a message from Ling Xiao. The roommate group chat was surprisingly lively today as well. Sushi Han checked it and realized that Ling Xiao and her roommates were talking about the same thing. Ling Xiao, Shihan, you're home from the Postpartum center, right? Tomorrow's Children's Day. I want to visit my godson and goddaughters. Roommates also sent messages. Shihan, are you busy? Are you looking after the babies? Tomorrow is Children's Day. Can we bring gifts for the babies? Sushi Han, if it's convenient, let's come see the babies. I'm going crazy from Liang Xiaoji. She's constantly begging to see the babies. The dorm is about to turn into a nursery. Sushi Han couldn't help but smile at these messages. Tomorrow is June 1st. She had almost forgotten about Children's Day. She hadn't been a child for many years, and now that she had babies, they would start celebrating Children's Day. This feeling gave her a sense of suddenly growing up herself. Sushi Han didn't reply immediately, instead walking over to me to discuss. Ching Lang, tomorrow is Children's Day. Xiao and my roommates just messaged me, saying they want to visit the babies and celebrate the holiday. Is that okay? I smiled and said, why not? It's perfectly fine for them to visit the babies. I was planning to celebrate Children's Day at home anyway. Since so many aunties want to come and celebrate with the babies, let's make it a big, lively party. Sushi Han's face lit up with joy. Great! She immediately messaged Ling Xiao and her roommates. Okay, I'll send you the address. You can come straight over tomorrow. The roommates chatted excitedly. They were thrilled to be able to see the babies tomorrow. Ling Xiao immediately noticed something was wrong when she saw the address. What's going on? Shihan, didn't you live in building 6? I moved. Ching Lang thought the previous apartment was a bit small, so he re-rented a bigger one before the babies and I came back. Your Ching Lang is great. That apartment was definitely too small. There's no way it could fit your whole family. Then I'll come to your new place tomorrow. I'll get to see your new apartment too. Early the next morning, I went out to buy groceries. We had guests coming over today and we were celebrating Children's Day, so I definitely needed to cook a feast. Outside the neighborhood, Zang Feu saw me come out of the entrance and immediately sat up in his car. That night at the school, he saw me taking Sushi Han away and heard Sushi Han's roommates say we were already living together. Zhang Feu was extremely upset. He wanted to both verify the situation and figure out who I was. So for the past few days, he had been asking around the neighborhoods near the university. He finally received a tip last night that I was living here. The person told him that there were women's clothes on the balcony of my current home, Ching Lang. Zhang Feu smashed his phone on the spot when he heard the news. Ching Lang really is living with his goddess. Zhang Feu didn't sleep well all night, tossing and turning, unable to understand what he had done wrong. He couldn't swallow his anger, so when he saw me leave, he immediately got out of his car, made a call, and then followed me. With my new combat skills, I quickly and alertly noticed a tail behind me. My expression became serious. After a moment of thought, I turned directly into a nearby construction alley. Zhang Feu smirked when he saw me enter. HMPH, he's walking straight into a trap. The deeper I walked, the quieter the sides of the alley became. The person behind me naturally became more blatant upon reaching this point. Feeling the footsteps getting closer, I turned around and immediately recognized the person. Zhang Feu, the senior who liked Sushi Han. Behind Zhang Feu were 4 or 5 tall, burly young men. The group looked very menacing, and one of them deliberately raised his fist, cracking his knuckles. I faced them alone, my demeanor not showing any weakness. My sharp eyes even made the opposite Zhang Feu feel a little uneasy. Zhang Feu noticed that I remained silent, and a powerful aura subtly radiated from me, making him feel even more displeasure. What is your relationship with Sushi Han? I was wondering who was tracking me, but seeing Zhang Feu now, I immediately felt bored. I didn't want to waste any time and planned to leave directly. My indifference only made Zhang Feu. The following is the English translation of the text you provided. The memory of being ignored by me at school the last time immediately made him furious. He directly blocked my path. Didn't you hear me? I looked up, my sharp gaze sweeping over Zhang Feu. In a dominant tone, I said, "Move." Of course, Zhang Feu wouldn't budge. He continued to demand, "I'm asking you, what exactly is your relationship with Sushi Han?" I scoffed, my aura becoming even more powerful, making Zhang Feu and the boys behind him instinctively feel uneasy. "Sushi Han is my wife." Zhang Feu immediately exploded when he heard that. "Wife? Impossible. I advise you to stay far away from Sushi-han, I sneered. What are you? How dare you order me around? Zang Feu violently swung his fist and yelled, With this! He lunged at me. If looks could kill, I would have been riddled with holes. My eyes narrowed. I gracefully sidestepped the punch, while simultaneously throwing my right fist, slamming it hard into Zang Feu's face. Zang Feu was knocked directly to the ground, staring in shock at me, completely unharmed. His fighting skills are that good? Stop watching! Attack! I scoffed, feeling a thrill. I had activated the beginner combat skill just last night and was looking for a place to test my skills. I hadn't expected this Zang Feu to deliver himself right to my doorstep. I clenched both fists and agilely weaved through the 5 men. 5 minutes later, they were all sprawled on the ground. I stood in the middle, untouched. Do you yield? Of course Zang Feu did not. Knowing he was no match for me, he immediately pulled out his phone and made a call. Brother Long, bring your men over and help me deal with someone. Hearing his words, I calmly brushed the dust off my clothes, acting as if I didn't take him seriously at all. I sneered. No need to rush. I'll wait for you. If this kind of thing wasn't solved once and for all, there would be endless trouble later. I didn't want this kind of person to affect my wife and children. 5 minutes later, a group of tall men walked over. Seeing his reinforcements, Zang Feu immediately endured the pain and ran over. Brother Long! The man called Brother Long looked to be in his 30s. Wang Delong frowned when he saw Zang Feu's state. What happened to you? Zang Feu immediately pointed at me. It's that kid! He beat up me and my brothers! Brother Long, teach him a lesson! Wang Delong looked at me. As a martial arts studio owner, he was highly sensitive to the aura of a martial artist. The moment he saw me, his body stiffened. This is an expert. Don't provoke him. Wang Delong realized this, and his expression immediately changed. He pushed Zang Feu aside and, with a smile reminiscent of a Sichuan opera mask change, walked toward me. Sir, my subordinates were foolish and got in your way. I hope you can be generous and let them off the hook. Here is a 200,000 yuan apology gift from our studio. Please accept it. Zang Feu stared at the scene in disbelief. Brother Long, what are you doing? Wasn't he here to help him save face? Instead, he was flattering the guy and paying compensation? Brother Long glared at Zang Feu and cursed under his breath. If it weren't for your dad, I'd never let you off the hook today. Get out of here. I glanced at Wang Delong. He's quite sensible. He wasted my time buying groceries and cooking for my wife and babies. A 200,000 yuan apology was barely acceptable. I took the money and gave a cold grunt. I won't bother with you this time. Don't let there be a next time. With that, I calmly walked off to buy groceries. Fang Yaxian learned from her old friend that the 3 babies might very well be Sushi Han's. Her heart sank, and the smile on her face vanished. She immediately video called her daughter. At home, Sushi Han had just put the babies to sleep. Seeing the incoming video call, she became completely nervous. What should I do? Why is mom video calling me suddenly? Should I answer? In this situation, the babies weren't fully asleep yet. They might wake up if they heard the sound. The home environment was clearly not a dorm room, and if she answered the video call, her mother would probably notice right away. While Sushi Han was hesitating, the video call automatically hung up. Fang Yaxian felt even more uneasy with her phone in hand. Her daughter not answering the phone only confirmed her suspicions. She immediately called again. This time, the sudden ringtone successfully woke up the 3 babies who had just fallen asleep. They all started crying. Sushi Han muted her phone, threw it on the big bed, and rushed to the children. The 3 little ones had just been fed and fallen asleep. Being suddenly awakened, they were full of crankiness. Sushi Han couldn't soothe them no matter what she did, and I hadn't returned yet. She couldn't hold all 3 by herself, so Sushi Han could only place the children on the large bed first. The phone, which had been carelessly tossed onto the bed, happened to be right under the 3rd baby's feet. His chubby little foot inadvertently answered the video call. Fang Yaxian waited for a long time with her phone, thinking her daughter wouldn't answer this time either. Unexpectedly, the call suddenly connected. She immediately called out, Shi-han! However, the connected video did not show Sushi Han's face, but a ceiling light in the room, which looked like a bedroom ceiling. This was obviously not the ceiling of a student dorm room, as Fang Yaxian had just returned from Shanghai a few days ago and had spent some time in her daughter's dorm. When Fang Yaxian's voice came through the video, the three little ones were suddenly distracted and stopped crying. But Fang Yaxian had heard the initial crying sounds. She tremblingly called out, "Shihan." Su Shihan also heard her mother's voice. Seeing the phone screen showing the video call was connected, she froze. "Shihan!" Fang Yaxian's voice became stricter. Su Shihan dared not delay further. She quickly composed herself and her expression. "Mom, why are you video calling me at this hour? Shihan, where are you?" Fang Yaxian didn't answer her question but asked with a stern look. Su Shihan had already come up with a countermeasure in her mind. She calmly replied, "I'm at a friend's house." "What friend? It's not the weekend. Why aren't you at school?" "Then what were those baby cries just now?" "I don't have class today, so I came to my friend's house to play. That was the sound from the TV. I was watching TV and almost didn't hear your video call." How could the sound of a baby crying on TV be such a coincidence? Fang Yaxian was full of suspicion. At that moment, Su Shihan received a message from Ling Xiao on her phone. She only saw a few exclamation marks, knowing the situation was urgent, and quickly clicked into Ling Xiao's chat window. Ling Xiao: "Big news, Shihan. I just bought stuff for my godson and goddaughters at the mother and baby store and accidentally ran into my mom outside. I told her I bought them for a colleague's child. She actually asked me if the children were staying at the Gold Medal Confinement Center before. I think my mom might know something, but she didn't ask about you. Still, I feel like her look was strange. She's been with Auntie Fang a lot lately. I thought I should tell you first." Su Shihan felt a bit helpless seeing this. She wanted to say that her mother's video call had already come through, and she was completely caught off guard. After reading Ling Xiao's message, Su Shihan finally understood the situation. No wonder her mother immediately pressed her about where she was, and was so focused on the sound of the babies. Knowing the situation, Su Shihan relaxed considerably. "Mom, you video called me today. Is it to wish me a happy Children's Day?" Fang Yaxian was taken aback by her comment and retorted, "You silly girl. How old are you to still celebrate Children's Day?" Su Shihan chuckled. "There's a festive atmosphere at school. Even if it's Children's Day, everyone wants to have some fun. A friend of mine just had a baby, so I'm actually here today to celebrate Children's Day with their babies. Xiao Xiao is coming over later too." Fang Yaxian listened, suspiciously scrutinizing her daughter on the other end of the video, but Su Shihan's face was calm, showing no signs of distress. Fang Yaxian still couldn't put her mind at ease. "What friend? Someone you and Xiao Xiao both know? They must be about your age, right? How did they have a baby so early?" Su Shihan replied, "It's Xiao Xiao's colleague, a little older than us, and they had triplets. I was so surprised when I saw triplets for the first time." She tried to use the babies to divert Fang Yaxian's attention. However, Fang Yaxian was not interested in the babies at the moment. When she heard Su Shihan mention triplets, she felt even more panicked. It was all too coincidental to believe. "You said the baby's parent is Xiao Xiao's colleague. Is it the mother or the father?" Fang Yaxian tried to probe for information. Su Shihan was not foolish and knew what she was trying to ask, so she concocted a half-truth. "The baby's mother is Xiao Xiao's colleague. If it were the baby's father, how would we dare just hang out at their house? What is this colleague's name?" Fang Yaxian remembered that the birth certificate stated Su Shihan. If her daughter gave a different name, it meant she was lying. Su Shihan felt that her mother was definitely asking this because she knew something, so she said very boldly, "Her name is Su Shihan." Fang Yaxian on the other end of the phone froze. She hadn't expected her daughter to say that name directly. Su Shihan smiled and said, "Mom, you think it's a big coincidence too, right? This colleague of Xiao Xiao's just happens to have the same name as me. And what's even more coincidental is that she's also from Yangcheng. It's because of this connection that Xiao Xiao became close to her and introduced us, and we became good friends." Seeing Fang Yaxian's expression, Su Shihan knew she had made the right choice. Her mother had visited the confinement center before and stayed in room 301 for a long time. Maybe she had heard others mention the name of the mother of the triplets. Therefore, she absolutely could not lie about this. Having the same name was the best explanation. Fang Yaxian was indeed confused now. these things were too coincidental. But her daughter explained every single thing so logically that she had no grounds for rebuttal. Listening to her daughter, these coincidences seemed to really be just ordinary coincidences. Everything was reasonable. Deep down, she truly didn't believe her daughter was married and had children. The last time she saw her daughter, she was clearly the same as before, only a little thinner. Fang Yaxian remained silent, but Sushi Han on the other end of the phone continued. "Mom, why are you suddenly so concerned about this?" Fang Yaxian snapped back to attention when asked. "Nothing. I just remembered a young man I ran into at Zhonghai Hospital. He must be the male host of the house you're in now." Sushi Han was momentarily stunned but quickly regained her composure and asked with a smile, "Mom, you know the baby's father. How could her mother know Ching Lang?" She hadn't heard Ching Lang mention it. Fang Yaxian on the other end of the phone recounted running into me at the hospital and the confinement center. Sushi Han felt a sense of oppression in her heart after hearing the story. It turned out her mother and I had already met twice without her knowing and even exchanged greetings. However, I probably didn't know the person was her mother either. Sushi Han listened, not wanting to continue the conversation. "Mom, do you want to see the triplets?" Her 3 little darlings hadn't fully developed their features yet, and children at this stage mostly resembled their father, so she wasn't afraid of her mother finding out. Fang Yaxian accepted her daughter's explanation. Thinking of the triplets she had heard about several times but never seen, she was also quite curious. So she asked her daughter to show them to her. The 3 little babies were all awake at the moment, lying side by side on the big bed. The 3 chubby little ones were all adorable in every movement. The moment Fang Yaxian saw them through the phone, she instantly threw all her previous suspicions out of her mind. "Oh, what cute babies!" This is the process of humans being conquered by babies. It only took a brief second. "The 3 children look a lot like their father." Sushi Han nodded. "Yes, we all think so. The babies." Mother even complained that none of the 3 babies looked like her. Before Sushi Han could say anything more, my voice suddenly came from the living room. "Shihan." Fang Yaxian, who suspected her daughter was hiding the fact that she had given birth and was conducting an investigation via video call with Sushi Han, was momentarily stunned to hear me call out her daughter's name. That was the handsome guy's voice. Sushi Han immediately lied. "He's not calling me, Mom. He's calling the other Shihan, the baby's mother. She's in the kitchen making lunch for us right now. Mom, I have to go. Xiao Xiao hasn't arrived yet, and it's not appropriate to be on a video call while being a guest in someone else's house." Fang Yaxian on the other end frowned slightly, feeling something was still not quite right. "All right, then you all have fun. Remember to go back early tonight." "Okay, don't worry, Mom. This place is quite close to our school. I won't talk to you anymore. Bye-bye." Sushi Han hung up the video call and couldn't help but let out a big sigh of relief. "Phew, that was close. I almost blew our cover." Luckily, she was quick-witted. Just then, I hadn't gotten a response from her, so I washed my hands and came into the bedroom to check on her and the children. "Shihan, what's wrong?" Hearing my voice, Sushi Han picked up her phone and shook it. "My mom just video called me." I was surprised. "Why did Auntie call suddenly?" I walked over and gently patted Sushi Han's shoulder. Quote, "It's because Xiao Xiao ran into her mother after buying things for the kids, and I guess her mom talked to mine. Also, I just found out that my mom met you in Zhonghai last time, and she also knows about her 3 babies. That's why she called to confirm, but luckily, I smoothed things over." I looked at her, confused. "Auntie met me?" I was even more surprised. When did my mother-in-law meet me? I don't recall it at all. Sushi Han nodded. "Yes, my mom met you twice. The first time was at the hospital on the day we got the birth certificate. Did you run into a middle-aged woman at the hospital? And the second time, did you run into that auntie again at the confinement center?" With her clarification, I immediately remembered. Fang Yaxian's face appeared in my mind. I said in shock, "That elegant and beautiful auntie is your mother?" I smiled down at her. "Shihan, it seems our fate is truly destined. It turns out that, in the midst of everything, my mother-in-law and I were arranged to meet a long time ago." Su Shihan's cheeks flushed. She lowered her head and said, "What destiny? We almost got exposed." She wondered how our parents would react if they truly knew. "Don't worry, it'll be fine. Although Auntie and I have met twice, she only saw me alone each time, and I think Auntie has a pretty good impression of me. It seems that when I meet Auntie in the future, We'll get along well. I recalled the 2 times I met Fang Yaxian. I must have behaved appropriately. Sushi Han chuckled. My mom currently thinks you're someone else's husband and father to their children. I just told her the quick-witted, same name story I came up with. My mom is completely convinced. She even transferred me a 2,000 yuan gift envelope to give to your family. I held Sushi Han's hand. Shihan, we should tell the elders as soon as possible, since Auntie has already met me twice and knows about the babies. Sushi Han didn't want to lie to Fang Yaxian either, but she truly couldn't let her know right now, or things might get chaotic. Ching Lang, let's wait a little longer. I understood Sushi Han was afraid to face them and didn't push too hard. Okay, let's stick to our plan. We'll go back and confess everything to our parents when this semester ends. It's already June, and summer break starts in early July. Take this month to fully recover. Don't be scared about going home for the summer break. I'll be with you through everything. Sushi Han looked at my determined gaze and nodded gently. We hadn't talked for long when the doorbell rang. Sushi Han quickly composed herself and went to open the door. Standing at the door was Ling Xiao. She spread her arms and said happily, I'm here! Where are my godson and goddaughters? Godmother misses them so much. Sushi Han followed her in and said, The children are in the bedroom. I'll take you to see them. Seeing them enter, I said, I'll go prepare lunch. Shihan, you keep Miss Ling company. Ling Xiao greeted me, put down her things, and looked around the bedroom, peering in here and there. This apartment is so much better than that little 2-bedroom you rented before. I just saw your smart toilet in the bathroom. A rental wouldn't come with that. Ching Lang must have installed it specifically for you, right? Sushi Han answered, a hint of sweetness in her tone. Yes, he installed it. When we rented it, it only came with the basic furnishings of a fine decorated apartment. These sofas, the washing machine, and the dryer were all prepared by him. Moving here is much more convenient. I originally thought I'd go back to the old apartment after the confinement center since the rent was paid for another 6 months. I didn't expect Ching Lang to think it was too small after seeing it and secretly rent the current apartment. I only found out after I got back from the confinement center. Ling Xiao looked at her best friend, who was beaming with happiness and unconsciously praising me in her tone. She couldn't help but laugh. Shihan, you look like a girl completely lost in love, a maiden who's thrown herself into romance and can't go 3 sentences without mentioning Ching Lang. Su Shihan looked up, slightly defensive. Do I? The spectators see more than the players, I can tell. You and Ching Lang are completely living life together now. Su Shihan was slightly stunned. Thinking carefully, I really was in all her current life and plans. Seeing her expression, Ling Xiao leaned in and said, But I think it's great. From what I've observed this past month, Ching Lang is indeed a responsible good father, and he treats you well, so I'm reluctantly at ease in trusting you to him. Oh, did Auntie Feng contact you? I ran into my mom today, and I think her expression was a bit off. Su Shihan snapped back to reality and nodded. When you sent me the message, my mom was video calling me. Ling Xiao looked surprised. Su Shihan told her everything that had just happened, including the conversation I had with her about it. I stand with Ching Lang on this. I think he's right. It's not good to keep hiding it from Auntie. Confessing is the easier way for your parents to accept it. I know. That's why Ching Lang and I plan to go back and tell them as soon as summer break starts. She wondered how her parents would react then. Ling Xiao was immediately amused. Tsk-tsk. Doesn't that mean you'll be meeting the parents in a month? I bet marriage is right around the corner. Ching Lang's attitude shows he wants to marry you soon and truly become a family of 5. Shihan, since your Ching Lang is like this, and you're out of the confinement period, you two are living together now, right? Su Shihan's cheeks instantly flushed. She glared at her with a charming expression. Don't talk nonsense! Ching Lang and I sleep in separate rooms. He's staying in the guest room next door. Su Shihan became even more embarrassed under her gaze. She gently nudged her. Ching Lang and I haven't reached that stage yet. Shihan, you and Ching Lang have 3 children who are already this big. If you're still being coy, my godson and goddaughters will look down on you. Isn't that right, sweethearts? The 3 babies, who were awake at the moment, giggled when Ling Xiao teased them. See? Even my godson and goddaughters are laughing at you. What's there to be embarrassed about? He's the father of your children. The 2 of them played with the children for a while, and the doorbell rang again. When Sushi Han went out, I had already opened the door. The 3 roommates had just entered the house. They looked surprised and a bit reserved as they changed their shoes at the door. The moment they saw Sushi Han, their eyes lit up. "Shi Han!" Ling Xiao called out softly, raising her hand to greet her. Lin Jing also waved at her, carrying 2 large bags, apparently bringing the items everyone else had bought. The 3 were still a bit reserved once inside the house. Seeing this, I said, "Shi Han, you keep our guests company. I'll go prepare lunch." Liang Xiaoji walked over and whispered to Sushi Han. "Hee Shi Han, your husband is so handsome. I didn't see him clearly that night. Seeing him today is just amazing." Sushi Han understood why they were so reserved and smiled, telling them, "Don't be nervous. Ching Lang is a very kind person." Sushi Han introduced them to Ling Xiao. They were all the same age, and Ling Xiao was outgoing and lively, so the 4 girls quickly warmed up to each other. However, after a brief chat, Liang Xiaoji started looking around. "Shi Han, where are your babies? Are they sleeping? Can I go see them?" "Of course, they're awake. I'll take you to see them in the bedroom." Campus beauty Sushi Han had given birth to my triplets, and her roommates were all curious to see them. The 3 little angels were lying on the big bed, entertaining themselves, bored and blowing bubbles, looking incredibly sweet and adorable. The moment the roommates walked in, they saw this scene, their faces immediately broke into smiles and their eyes involuntarily squinted. They all shared the same expression of being utterly captivated. Even the usually cool Liu Shi couldn't help but smile. They're too cute. High-quality human babies are simply the cutest things in the world. For the rest of the time, Sushi Han felt a little redundant in the room. The 3 roommates gathered around the bed, at first cautiously daring not to approach. But then they simply sat down for a close-up view of the adorable babies. Ling Xiao also leaned in to join them, teasing her godson and goddaughters. The 3 little ones were not shy at all when they saw so many unfamiliar aunties. Instead, they were more active than usual, showing off various poses in front of them. Liang Xiaoji's smile never faded. Shi Han's babies are so cute. They have high cuteness and are super lively. They're even cuter than they looked in the photos last time. Lin Jing nodded, her eyes sparkling. "Yes, the 3 little ones aren't shy at all. They're too adorable." Ling Xiao shared the photos of the babies she had taken earlier. The 4 girls huddled together, occasionally letting out a gasp of surprise. When Sushi Han finished feeding the baby and came out, I walked out of the kitchen. "Are the babies asleep?" "Yes, they're fed and asleep. They were woken up this morning, so they'll probably sleep a little longer now." "Then let's eat first." The guests stood up, one after another, and everyone went to the dining room to eat. I had spent the entire morning cooking a large feast. As soon as the dishes were served, the aroma instantly filled the air. After everything was set, I first raised the glass containing fruit juice. "Thank you all for coming today to celebrate the baby's first Children's Day. Let's have a toast." Sushi Han also raised her glass. "Thank you for making the trip today and for buying so many gifts for the babies." Ling Xiao nudged her shoulder. "No need to be so polite. I'm the godmother of the babies. It's what I should do." Liang Xiaojie was the first to speak. "Shi Han, Mr. Qin, you don't have to be so polite. We are super happy to be guests in your home and see these 3 adorable little darlings." Liu Shi also smiled. "Thank you, Mr. Qin, for making such a big table of food. We're in for a treat today." I smiled. "Please, everyone, don't be shy. Let's toast. Eat more later. Happy Children's Day to the babies." Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the special mission of celebrating the babies. Children's Day. Reward 100,000 in cash. Funds have been deposited into your account. Please check. I finished my drink and put down the glass. Wow, celebrating the babies. Children's Day comes with a 100,000 yuan cash reward. The system is indeed powerful. No! I subtly glanced at the deposit notification on my phone, then smiled and said to everyone, "Please eat. Try my cooking. Dig in, everyone. Eat more. It's just Ching Lang and me at home, so don't leave too many leftovers, or it'll go to waste." Ling Xiao had tasted my confinement meals before and still remembered the flavor. She was finally able to eat my cooking again today, and this time she could eat as much as she wanted. She first tasted the braised pork belly. Delicious! Then she tried the steamed perch. Fantastic! Ling Xiao ate with an expression of pure enjoyment. The 3 roommates opposite her were still somewhat reserved. Liu Xi was the first to pick up her chopsticks and tasted the shrimp in front of her. The moment it hit her mouth, her expression froze. Mr. Chin's stir-fried shrimp is too delicious. Hearing her say that, Liang Xiaoji couldn't wait any longer and started eating too. This perch is amazing. The meat is tender and delicious, and the sauce is superb. Lin Jing also praised. I think this braised pork belly is the best. The lean meat is chewy, and the fat melts in your mouth. It's not greasy at all. Your control over the heat is just excellent. Ling Xiao, who was already in on the secret, laughed. Mr. Chin's cooking is simply the best. He even made all of Shihan's confinement meals before. Mr. Chin is so talented. He's so young and can cook so well. Shihan, you are so lucky. Hearing them praise me, Su Shihan felt a sense of pride and honor. She smiled and said, "If it's delicious, then eat more." Although the young girls were reserved at first, they naturally didn't hold back when faced with truly delicious food. I had made 8 dishes and 1 soup in total. The 6 of us ended up finishing almost everything. Only a little garnish was left on each plate. The most popular braised pork belly was completely cleared. After lunch, I was tidying up the table, and Su Shihan came over to help. Su Shihan said with a smile, "It looks like everyone really likes your cooking. We finished all these dishes." I laughed. "Of course. My cooking skills are top-notch. Who am I? I'm the superhero dad of the triplets." Su Shihan chuckled. "Actually, my cooking is pretty good too. I'll make you a meal sometime." I looked unconvinced. Seeing Su Shihan about to wash the dishes in her hand, I walked over and took the plates from her from behind. I leaned close to her ear and whispered, "Shihan, do you really know how to cook? You're not planning to poison your husband, are you?" The sudden closeness made Su Shihan's cheeks flush slightly. Her bright eyes looked back at me. "I really know how to cook." I didn't press her. My wet hand gently touched the tip of her nose, and I laughed. "Then I'll have to taste your cooking next time." The kitchen was filled with our soft laughter. Outside, Yang Xiaojie and Lin Jing craned their necks to peek. "Hee, Shihan and her Mr. Qin have such a good relationship." Ling Xiao listened to their words, watching my back as I hugged Su Shihan, a slight smile on her lips. Not long after lunch, the 3 roommates said they had to return to school. They had classes in the afternoon. Ling Xiao had also taken time off and had to go back to work in the afternoon. Soon after her friends left, the nanny Su Shihan had hired, Auntie Wang, arrived. I had asked her to help clean the house. After seeing her friends off, Su Shihan went into the bedroom. Seeing me enter, she immediately waved happily. "Ching Lang, come here quickly." I walked over and stood beside her, looking at the pile of pink banknotes on the table. "Shihan, why did you take all the money out?" Su Shihan smiled. "Counting money. This is the holiday money given to the babies by the roommates and Xiao Xiao today. The roommates gave 1,000 yuan, and Xiao Xiao gave 2,000. Last time, Xiao Xiao gave 5,000, and your roommates gave 2,000. All that money is here, totaling 10,000 yuan. Plus the 500,000 yuan Xiao Xiao transferred to me for your carved walnuts. And the 200,000 I gave you earlier, I have 310,000 yuan in hand. Ching Lang, I want to discuss something with you. How about we use this money to start a business?" "Start a business?" I thought about it. "The babies are still small, and I want to spend more time with you all. Starting a business requires too much time initially, and we both have school. We probably won't have enough time. Shihan, are you worried about money? I've already told you. You don't need to worry about that. I'm here, and I will earn money to support the family." Su Shihan shook her head. "No, Ching Lang. I believe in your ability. You have the carving skill. You sold 1 pair of walnuts for 500,000 yuan. I know you won't let the children and me suffer. But I also don't want you to be too exhausted. The business I'm talking about is opening a small shop nearby. Now that the 3 babies are home, they'll grow bigger every day, and the expenses will be significant. You've been responsible for the children's things all along. I don't want you to have too much pressure." Hearing her say that, a wave of emotions surged through me. I held Su Shihan's hand. "Shihan, I'm very happy that you're so considerate. All right, let's open a small shop. Ching Lang, my idea is to open a carving studio. We'll set up the shop nearby. I don't have classes this semester. and Auntie Wang and I can take the babies with us to man the shop. Once the studio is more or less on track, we can hire staff to look after the shop. Okay, then I'll be in charge of the carving work, and you'll manage the shop's business. I looked at Su Shihan's excited expression and couldn't help but gently rub her head. Shihan, I think you have a real business sense. Oh, and Ching Lang, shouldn't we think of a name for the shop? Su Shihan was now full of excitement and anticipation for our new shop and new life. I smiled. Yes, then the task of naming the shop is up to my scholar wife at home. Su Shihan tilted her head, making a thoughtful expression. We're starting a carving studio, which is somewhat related to antiques. How about San Qin Zhai, 3 Chin Studio? What do you think? San Qin? That's great! Our family just had triplets, so the number 3 is good. Qin is my last name as the boss. That name is very suitable for the studio, Su Shihan giggled. Babies! Daddy's shop is going to be called San Qin Zhai! This is the little shop that your mommy and daddy are opening to earn milk money for the 3 of you! The babies, hearing their mother's words, happily clapped their little hands, as if to say, very good, very good.